as number 7 Penn State challenges number 1 Ohio State. Hello again, everybody. I'm Keith Jackson, and welcome to the Horseshoe. This is one of those college football games that could drown you in hype if you let it. There is so much to it and so much to its aftermath. But surely the winner of this game will have taken a large step down that yellow brick road on the way to that magical thing that happens January 4 in Arizona, the national championship game. This is also the Big Ten opener for these two teams, and that magnifies the value of a win and the cost of a loss. Number 1, Ohio State against number 7, Penn State. We'll have more for you in a moment. Right now, let's go to our New York studio and join John Saunders and Todd Blackledge.
All right, Keith, as the Burger King pregame report continues, important matchup for the Buckeyes, not just because of the Big Ten, but here's their chance to impress the voters the way Nebraska did last week against Washington.
Yeah, I think the Buckeyes well aware this is a great opportunity to offer a rebuttal. From the Penn State side, they must play well early. Since joining the Big Ten, 2 trips into Columbus, they've gotten blown out of the horseshoe in the first half, being outscored 41-6. Must play well early because this Ohio State team, the best they've faced.
All right, this game number 1 of our doubleheader at 3:30 Eastern time. We have regional coverage. Some of you will see Michigan against Iowa. 2 losses, but still a shot at the Big Ten title. Washington against UCLA. UCLA has won 12 consecutive games. It's Washington State and UCLA. Clemson against North Carolina. The Tar Heels are 0-3 for the first time since '88. Some will see Colorado go into Norman, where they've won 4 straight against Oklahoma. Also coming up at halftime, my interview with Andy Katzenmoyer, who answers his skeptics.
There's other skeptics out there that say I've been playing, but I'm not the same person I have been the past, couple years. But I'm playing, I think, better than I ever have.
Katzenmoyer and the Buckeyes up against Penn State next after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Yeah, baby. I like it like that. I like it like that. I like it like that. I got soul. I got soul. I like it like that. Yo a ti te quiero. I like it like that. Hey, baby. I like it like that. I like it like that. I like it like that. I like it like that.
If you ask us, it just tastes better.
Franklin Perry may have the safest house on Bristol Court thanks to Liberty Mutual.
Wow! A Carnithoris sapidus. That's one mean bush.
We have over 500 home safety tips, including how to prevent break-ins.
The ancient Greeks called this the bush of pain.
Tips like planting prickly bushes under your windows and installing deadbolt locks. Safer, more secure lives. That's the freedom of liberty. Liberty Mutual.
This is for my parents who believe in my dreams, and for myself, for my future.
The lightweight aluminum in your car radiator is the only thing between you and a breakdown. Put in Prestone. It bonds with aluminum to give you a powerful zone of protection against corrosion. Protect your car in the Prestone zone.
Alex Zanardi leads the pack as championship auto racing rolls into Texas. It's the Texaco Grand Prix of Houston, live Sunday at 4 Eastern on ABC Sports.
We're sorry to interrupt, but the Big Forecast and the Variety Channel will not be seen tonight because they are not TV shows. There are 2 of 6 new Super 6 Showtime value price ticket combos from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Play Super 6 Showtime. Get more than you pay for.
Let's do it right. Help save the world we live in.
Composting is another way you can help with Erie's recycling program. It's easy. Just gather your grass and garden clippings, leaves, and hedge trimmings. Then place them in a hard container with handles alongside your refuse on your regular pickup night from March 29th through October 30th.
To help save the world we live in, let's do it right.
What does it mean to be a premier metropolitan university? How about a nationally recognized music program or an internationally known English festival? What about award-winning residence halls and an incredibly beautiful and safe campus? How about a 4-time national championship football team or a nursing program with the highest consecutive pass rates on the state exam? Look at YSU, and you'll find lots of firsts and bests to describe its programs. That describes a premier metropolitan university, Youngstown State University.
Say, before you go, you think you could hook me up?
To Super 6 Showtime? Sorry, pal, but I know someone who can.
Super 6 Showtime. 6 brand new value price ticket combos. 6 great ways to get more than what you pay for.
WJET TV 24.
The Ohio State Buckeyes, #1 in the nation. They defeated West Virginia on the road, Toledo and Missouri at home. Most everybody had them preseason #1. And welcome back to the Horseshoe as it begins to fill up on a rainy day. Let's turn now to our analyst, Bob Greasy, his thoughts on this matchup.
Well, Keith, I enjoyed talking with the coaches. Joe Paterno is the winningest active coach in Division I. 301 wins. He's been in this situation before. He's beaten the #1 team in the nation 4 times over his career. But to beat this #1, his quarterback, Kevin Thompson, is going to have an outstanding day. Their running game has been by committee. They have no Kajana Carter or Curtis Enos. Somebody in that running back situation has got to step forward. Going against one of maybe the best defense in the nation, led by All-American Andy Katzenmoyer and Antoine Winfield. I like this defense. They're aggressive, they're attacking, and they should be the #1 team.
All right, let's go to the field now to our colleague Lynn Swan.
Well, Keith, it's just wet and cold enough where you can barely start to see your breath and your hands are a little stiff. And it's the hands of David Boston and Dean Miller that are most important. Last year, they were brilliant against Penn State. They were unstoppable. So what does Penn State have to do today to contain these two? Well, it's going to have to be the team game that gives them success because they can't play off Miller and Boston. They can't press them without giving up the big play. The defensive line has to rush and put pressure on the quarterback if they are going to stop the passing game. Keith?
The coach is Joe Paterno, 33 years at Penn State, 301 wins. John Cooper, 11 seasons, Ohio State, 489 wins.
Something powerful is happening. More powerful than Ford or Dodge. It's the truck, and it's coming.
Because there is a man in Chicago planning his retirement this year. Because there is a family in Boston who hopes to send their kids to college someday. Because there is a doctor in New York looking forward to the day she will open her own clinic. Because the dreams of every investor continue to change in a complex world, so too have we. Which is why at Morgan Stanley Dean Witter, we measure success one investor at a time.
Need brakes? Come to Midas for a break on brakes. Now just $69.95 after rebate. You'll get our standard brake service and our guarantee. Midas is $69.95 brakes. It's worth stopping for.
So, you gonna buy this car today?
This SUV today or not?
Just for you.
I'm gonna talk to my boss.
No hassles, no haggling, low prices. Log on to autobytel.com. We're changing the way America buys cars.
You're born, you die. In between, you work on cars. We should all be so lucky.
That's me, Bill. Here we are at the Super 8.
For reservations, call 1-800-800-8000.
The temperature, as we told you, is 51 degrees. It's been raining since somewhere early in the morning hours. And the forecast is for showers through the day with occasional gusty winds. Not terribly comfortable. It's clement, let's say. Not yet inclement. Penn State will kick off. They won the toss. They defer to the second half. Ohio State then will have the ball first with Kenyon Rambo and Jonathan Wells. Travis Forney will kick it off for the white-clad Nittany Lions, and the game is on. From the 7-yard line, Rambo. Out across the 25 to the 27. Now Chili's starting lineup for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Tackle to tackle, major improvement. Only one senior among the top 8 in the trenches for them. Wide receivers, you have to dig deep into your thesaurus to define Boston and Miller. They will have a size advantage working in the Penn State secondary today. The backs, Michael Wiley ran for 209 yards against Missouri here 2 weeks ago. The Nittany Lions will surely go after him, but first I think they want to get in the face of this man, quarterback Joe Germain. And they've got prime weapons, Miller and Boston, to the outside for the first snap. And Germain hands it away to Wiley. Wiley finds daylight on the left side of the line. He got a good block over there, and he moves the ball. Brandon Short and LeVar Arrington make the tackle for the Lions. The Penn State defense is by far the best group the Buckeyes will have seen so far this season. There are no timid souls in that group. Number 43, Brandon Short, is the leader of the linebacking corps. You might want to keep an eye on number 11, Arrington. He's becoming quite a player. And the defensive backs, we've indicated, they're a smallish group. The corners, King and Macklin, are 5'8" and 5'9". The free safety, Lee, is 5'7". And they'll be rotating new, bigger people in there today. The ball is given to Matt Keller, the fullback. And Matt Keller. And I say to you that number 23, Keller, will see the ball more today than he has in any of the previous 3 games. He just picked up a first down.
That was a new play. Look, if you're an offensive coordinator, you want balance on offense. Ohio State rushing 274, passing 256. They're known for their passing, but their rushing has been outstanding so far this year.
Reggie Germany checks into the lineup now for the Buckeyes. Number 80, he's a 6'2", 195-pound sophomore out of Hazelwood, Missouri, so that gives them 3. He is in there with Boston and Miller. And they go the other way with it with Keller carrying, and this time the Lions searching out and find him for a yard or so loss on the play. Anthony King coming up from a corner got him.
Well, if the Lions have a chance to win this game, it's the defense that needs to set the tone for Penn State. Take a look at what they've done. They've taken the ball away 7 times and scored twice. They have 12 sacks and only allowed a little over 7 points per game in their first 3 ball games.
The play is finally into the quarterback at 18 seconds. He's back in the huddle. Jerry Sandusky is the man who's got his eyes all over Joe Germain and the Ohio State offense. Jerry has been at Penn State 3 decades. Germain back, takes the pass, fakes the reverse, wants to let it go. Lions won't give him a chance. Good defensive coverage downfield. Boston had no shot, and as a result, the quickness of the Penn State defense takes the quarterback down, with Short and Arrington again making the defensive play. So now it is 3rd down and long.
You called
14.
You called it right, Hoss. It takes a while to develop the reverse, and that allowed Boston to get downfield. There's only one receiver. Watch as he's going to be double covered. Good coverage by Fox, number 4, coming back. Boston, number 9, the only receiver downfield. Good coverage.
This works both ways, though. At 3rd and 14 coming up, the Buckeyes now know what Penn State's probably going to do with Boston through much of the day, and that's double it.
Oh, you got that right. I would too.
Germain's pass to the sidelines is incomplete. Germany's over there. Germany got himself involved with the Penn State defender. So involved, as a matter of fact, he forgot to turn around and look for the ball. And the pass is incomplete. So the Buckeyes searching around for some answers in the early going, and Penn State may have gained a little confidence out of that because they now know they can fight their way through there and get some pressure on.
2 of the best punters in the nation here today, Keith.
Bruce Branch is the deep man, and Brent Bartholomew is the punter. Bartholomew in 1998 averaging just about 45.5 yards per punt. That's pretty good stuff. Branch is one of those young burners waiting for the ball. There's a little bit of heat on him. He gets it out of there, and Branch has a little bit of room. Now he runs out of time, but shakes 1 tackle. He broke that 1 tackle that would have taken him down in his tracks and was able to come back about 6 yards on the return. So it's a 42-yard punt, and they'll give him 5 yards on the return. And Chili's starting lineup now for Penn State. On the left side of the line, Wedderburn and McKenzie are 2 houses. They're big. The rest of them up front are also over 300 pounds, except for Fagan. Joe Nastasi's a steady guy. Corey Jones has been sharing that wideout position with Chaffee Fields. The backs, Nittany Lions, do not have that big old thumping tailback right now. Cordell Mitchell, however, is a slashing runner and has done quite well. And Mitchell has the ball, and he's dropped for a loss by number 32, Niall Diggs, the sophomore linebacker, who shot the gap and got him. The Ohio State defense, 3 down linemen of sophomores, as a true freshman at tackle starting today. Number 79, Ryan Pickett. He's replacing Clinton Wayne, who has a sore leg. In the linebacking core, behind that front 4, their speed and aggressiveness. And Katzenmoore, of course, is the better known. I'm still waiting to see a better secondary than this one. I mean, they are really good.
Amen, brother.
2nd down and 15 for the Nittany Lions. And the quarterback gets it in the air. The pass is Corey Jones. And so Kevin Thompson comes out and hooks up on his first attempt of the day to Corey Jones.
Big throw in there, big throw and catch there, partner. Thompson, who's been a little bit shaky, completing just about 50% of his passes. The first throw of the day, the second play of the game. Fran Ganner, the offensive coordinator. Jones has not been holding on to the ball. Yeah, he had to catch that one twice, but now the nerves are a little bit less.
13 yards on the play, 3rd down and 2. They go to the fullback, Ceramelli, and Ceramelli will not get the first down. He was denied it by number 13, Damon Moore, the guy that Joe Paterno has been talking about all weeks, along with Niall Diggs. So the Lions had a 3rd and 2 and couldn't convert it, and they will have to punt. Pat Pigeon, who's having a very good year, as you can see, 19 punts. He's averaged 46.5 yards per kick. That's 2nd in the Big Ten. Kenyon Rambo, number 4, is the beat man for Ohio State. He's one of those California speedsters. No pressure. The kick is away. It's a good kick. Rambo with room. Got by the first one, but the second one hit him right on the number.
He sure did.
Number 52, Maurice Daniels, who is an inside linebacker.
Long ago, an inventor came up with the assembly line, allowing a few people to make a lot of something. It was the model for efficiency. At Chili's, we pride ourselves for our inefficiency, because we make each of the Big Mouth burgers by hand, grilled one at a time by a person. And when you taste for yourself how good they are, you'll appreciate all the time we've wasted. Chili's fresh grilled Big Mouth burgers, monuments of inefficiency.
It's been a tradition since 1876. Think about that. That's more than 120 years ago that this company started making Budweiser under Adolphus Busch. The family has always put in the forefront, protect the excellence of the product Budweiser. And I think he would be very happy that the generations of his family have practiced what he taught us.
Something big is happening. Bigger than Ford or Dodge. It's the truck, and it's coming.
Windows makes computers easier, right? But this point-and-click thing doesn't quite work if you can't see the screen. So we built in technology that makes computers easier for the blind. We first have to throw away the mouse.
Good morning.
Then we make the computer talk to you. If you make a computer easy to use by someone who's disabled, you learn how to make computers easy for everyone.
Malcolm McDowell is deliciously devious as the masterful Mr. Rourke.
I have something to show you.
Fantasy Island, followed by Cupid. ABC tonight, starting 9/8 Central.
All right, each team has had the ball. Here's the second time around now in this first quarter of play. Ascari Adams has checked into the secondary for Penn State. He was a young man who came up with a big interception in the ball game at Pittsburgh. A game in which the Lions emerged marked, but they won 20-13. So now Jermaine looks him over and sets him up with Wiley deep and drops back to throw on first down to the sidelines to Boston. The pass is incomplete, off his hands, out of bounds. David Macklin reached in and helped him lose it.
You look at Joe Germain, who is really has played very well. 64% of his passes he's completing. He's averaging 220 yards a game. He has not thrown an interception in the last 78 throws, 5 touchdowns, and for his career, he's thrown 36 touchdowns and only 13 interceptions. And what they're doing, Keith, early on, they're doubling the 2 wide receivers, Boston and Miller. That means the tight end down the middle may be open.
Wide open. There's an acre of open ground out there. Jermaine wants to go big with it. He goes down to Miller. Miller is in a struggling match, and that's pass interference. He gets the call on Anthony King. King had him locked up about 20 yards up the field, but finally they threw the flag on it. And it'll be a first down for Ohio State and the 15-yard penalty.
Well, they're not, you know, this is a big play offense, and they're not holding back. They're going deep immediately.
Back to where the ball comes off.
Not a lot there.
Well, he had him.
He did have his hands on him a little bit, but it's there wasn't a lot of pushing and shoving, but his hands, the defensive man's hands, were on the jersey.
The referee is Dick Honig. The umpire is Percy Munn, Jim Mellendore, the head linesman, John Couros, line judge, Jim Folsom, the field judge, Mike Sheehan, side judge, and Henry Zaborniak is the back judge. And it's first down Buckeyes. The ball is up on their 43-yard line. Wiley, who was a receiver as a freshman, goes outside, and he's tripped up over there by Anthony King. King read the play very well and was able to make the tackle. I'd love to get Wiley out there all day in a one-on-one, though.
You got that right. He's explosive, as you mentioned. He played some wide receiver, now back to running back, and he is exciting. That's all they need is a guy like Wiley in the backfield that can break it at any minute with those 2 big play guys on the outside.
Matt Keller comes back in with his lunch bucket along with D. Miller.
With his what?
Lunch bucket.
I like that.
You've got double wide to the bottom now. That's Michael Wiley, who's flanked out there again. So this is a new wrinkle the Buckeyes have not shown so far this season. Here comes the blitz. And it's Keller with the ball, trying to sweep it. And it's Macklin who buggers up the play and made the first contact on him. Brandon Short and Ascari Adams were also over in the territory and hand fighting the blockers until Macklin came over to make the first hit.
Well, Keith, one of the key situations and critical situations throughout the ball game will be third down. Both teams want to stay out of third and long, and by third and long, we discussed it should be anything over 7 yards and longer. To stay out of third and long, you win on first and second down. Penn State, they've been holding people to about 23% success on third down, but Ohio State has been a 51% successful team on third down coming into today's ballgame.
3 wideouts, they're in the shotgun, and Jermaine back on third down, lets it go into the middle. The pass was caught by Miller. The ball was thrown behind D, but he has the athletic ability to go back and get it, and so he bails out Joe on that one and picks up a first down.
You called it right, partner. That was thrown behind him, single coverage on the outside. Miller, he doesn't get a jam on him. And Miller doesn't get jammed. He gets off the line of scrimmage freely. Anthony King didn't lay a hand on him, and Ascari Adams there to make the play.
At 8.5 minutes to go in the first quarter, no score. The Buckeyes now get to the opponent's side of the field. They're the first one to do that. First down Ohio State at the Penn State 43. Rain remains steady. Jermaine drops the ball, has to cover it. Number 5, Brad Scioli, coming around, looped past the blocker, reached out, hit the ball, and it fell out.
Brad Scioli is number 5. He's a defensive end, and that may be an odd thing you say. Scioli was a quarterback in high school, and when he came to Penn State, he was still a quarterback, so he got the number 5, and he grew out of the position. Went to tight end, played some defensive end, but he kept the number. That's the biggest number 5 you'll see playing tight end. He's 267 pounds.
Pettigrew checks in now as the dime defense is on the field. Tackle comes out, Jones, and it is second down and 17. Thrown to the sidelines. There's a man over there. It's Michael Wiley out of the backfield. And a penalty flag is thrown. And the Buckeyes may lose that play. That time there was nobody over there. King got tangled up with some of his own people and couldn't get to the spot. Wiley was free. Would have had a first down, but they were holding.
Here's Wiley. He's just going to come out here, and the man that's supposed to cover him is here, but the wide receiver is going to come in and block on the free safety right there, and that's where the holding is. Well-designed play, just don't hold. You get Wiley outside there, Keith, and one-on-one outside there with a lot of room. That's dangerous.
Reggie Germany was trying to keep Adams out of the play. Swanee?
Well, Keith, that's a tough thing for a wide receiver to do, to come out and block a guy and just sustain that block for a long time. Traditionally, what they try and teach a wide receiver to do is feel when that ball carrier has a ball behind you, then throw your block, because it's just almost impossible to hold one guy for that long. It's the one area that all the wide receivers for Ohio State really have to work on, Keith.
Reggie's only 19. 7-yard gain, a 10-yard penalty. It's second down and 20. And timeout called by Ohio State at 7:29 to go in a scoreless first quarter.
We will never, ever smoke up this house again. We are quitting with the patch.
Nicoderm CQ.
With the steps.
There's a lot to be said for steps.
While Nicotrol has only one step, Nicoderm CQ has 3, so you can step down your dose gradually the way doctors and pharmacists prefer.
Was this a great idea or what?
Nicoderm CQ, the power to calm, the power to comfort, the power to help you quit.
Chevy Tahoe with a Vortec engine. The most powerful SUV anywhere.
Between the colors created by Canon. Canon Laser Color. Its only competition is reality.
ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by the new Silverado, the truck from Chevrolet. The most dependable, longest-lasting trucks. State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Canon Laser Color, its only competition is reality. And Nicoderm CQ, the power to calm, the power to comfort, the power to help you quit. It's a tradition here at Ohio State. Before the Big Ten conference opener, the players go out and practice the band. If they can play an instrument, they give them one. Andy Katzenmoore out there with a trumpet. Antoine Winfield hanging on the snare drums, and everybody having a hoop. It's a good thing. Had a good time.
Yeah.
Second down and 20 now. As we go back to a field that's still firm, but getting wetter. And it's Boston, the man in motion. Jermaine back, pressure coming, dumps it off. Ball goes to Wiley. Wiley trying to get outside. Can't do it. D. Miller could not put the block on the Penn State defender, David Macklin. Ascari Adams also over there. And so far, the Lions are holding up very well defensively.
What Mike Jacobs, the offensive coordinator, is doing for Ohio State, he has seen what Jerry Sandusky's doing defensively, and he's doubling the outside, trying to take away the 2 receivers. He's trying to get the ball to Wiley on a wide swing or a little quick screen pass out there in the open. And so far, the defense has done a nice job of preventing it.
Sooner or later, you got to hunker down and run north and south, though.
Yeah, that's right.
Third down and 19. Short trying to pop through, can't do it. Jermaine steps away from the pressure. Now he needs a little help. He's got the first down.
That's the wild card right there. Joe Jermaine. Good coverage downfield. Good pressure in the backfield. Nobody's covering the quarterback, and he takes off running. Watch the blitz. Short is 43. Morrison is 31. Arrington, all three linebackers are blitzing. The defensive backs downfield covering. Nobody's left to run the quarterback down. That'll drive you nuts. If you're a defensive coordinator or a head coach, that'll drive you nuts. You got everything except the quarterback. Good play by Jermaine.
22-yard run on the play. First down for the Buckeyes at the Penn State 30-yard line. Lumpkin moved. That'll cost them 5. The tight end broke the count.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, 5 yards, still first down.
6.5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Right at you, the red shirt on the right side. That's just lack of concentration there. What do we call this? A light drizzle, partner?
It depends on what part of the country you come from. Michael White goes slashing down inside the 25-yard line, close to the 24, and it'll be third down. It's Matt Keller, the fullback, helping him get through the holes.
Wiley leads the nation in average per carry at 9.3 yards, averaging 166 yards per game. Been one of the real pleasant surprises for the Buckeyes this year. You can see the rain coming down there. I guess it's
more than a drizzle.
More than, if you're not in it, it's just a drizzle.
It's your second down and 5. You're sitting in front of the fire. So down to the 21-yard line on that carry. So they'll be looking at 3rd and 1, and it's Michael Wiley again.
Wiley's a junior, a true junior, and has started off the season in fine fashion compared to the other great running backs that they've had around here in the past. 3 game starts. He's doing pretty well.
Across his 33 seasons as head coach at Penn State, only 8 schools in the country have an edge over Joe Paterno. One of those schools is in the Big Ten, Ohio State. 3rd down and 1.
He didn't keep us in suspense very long.
I figured most everybody knew it. Arrington almost got caught. They get Wiley behind the line of scrimmage. It's Brandon Short, number 43. And so on 3rd and 1, they lose a couple of yards. So here comes the kicking team for the Buckeyes.
Here's the linebacker right in here. Brandon Short, very active linebacker play by the Nittany Lions.
It'll be a 40-yard try. The ball is going to be put down on the ground, and the ground is wet, remember, by Brent Bartholomew, the punter. And Dan Stoltz out of Orrville, Ohio, will try the 40-yarder, trying to give the Buckeyes the lead here in the first quarter. On its way. He missed it. So Stoltz, who has not had a sterling start, and the ball drifts off to the left side, and the snap from Kevin Hauser seemed a bit high, and they didn't quite get it down. So they miss it.
How's Max doing? He's doing okay. So how long before Max can play again? Well, the vet said Max will be back to his old self in a couple of days.
Even the interior of the Chevy Blazer was designed to make you feel at ease. Chevy Blazer, a little security in an insecure world.
State Farm presents Rules of the Game.
Today we're talking about blocking. In this play, there's a low block by number 97 following a change of possession. Is this legal?
What if your car slips off the road in slippery rock? Or you need the name of a mechanic in Mechanicsville? Well, if your car's insured by State Farm, just look up the local State Farm agent. Almost anywhere you travel, whether it's a big metropolis or just a little one, a good neighbor is always nearby to help. So if your car gets stolen in Thief River Falls, or you have some trouble in Paradise, hey, don't worry about it. State Farm is there.
Today we're talking about blocking. In this play, number 97 blocks low following a change of possession. This is a 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
Rules of the Game has been brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
With videos this spectacular, it could only be the biggest AFV ever. The 10th season premiere with a $100,000 giveaway.
The videos are fresh.
ABC tonight.
There's the big guy right there having a cool drink that made the big play when he got through to jump the quarterback on that 3rd and short. Brandon Short. And Joe Paterno's troops right now doing pretty much what they had planned. And they go to work, first down, just short of their own 23-yard line. Hand the ball off to Cordell Mitchell, who bounces outside, and there's nobody there for a long time, until finally Ahmed Plummer disentangles himself from a would-be blocker and goes to the sidelines to get him. So Plummer got occupied downfield by one of the wideouts and was late getting to the sideline.
Well, the run's going to come this way, but watch the block of Caramelli right here. And the other outside defensive back, Barry's going to run himself out of the play. Caramelli gets a nice block, and Barry just comes in too wide.
Eric McCoo in the backfield now on first down for the Nittany Lions, and they're on the Ohio State side for the first time today. The ball is thrown to the outside to McCoo, a freshman out of Red Bank, New Jersey, and he'll pick up a couple of yards on the play. Sunday night live at 8:15 Eastern on ESPN, Sunday Night Football. Seattle going to Kansas City, and that's a stop that the Seahawks have not enjoyed much success in the last decade, as they go in against Marty Schottenheimer's KC Chiefs. They're pretty tough.
Kansas City's looking pretty good.
Second down, and call it 8. Thompson back. Little play action to free it up. The ball tipped in the air. Caught by Shafi Fields. Fields catching a ricochet from Plummer. So they're picking on Plummer and doing all right with it right now.
Plummer was all over him on the coverage. In fact, he read the route. It was a stop route. He cut in front of him. Plummer just couldn't get up high enough to pick it off. And Shafi just stays with the football and makes the play, where the wide receivers have been troubling catching the ball the last couple of weeks. They've done a nice job with second catches here today.
That kind of a play that got him loose on that 60-yard touchdown run against Pittsburgh.
Here they come.
And now there's contact. There's just movement all around, and everybody's pointing their fingers. So let Dick Koenig work it out. No flag, no play. He's called it second down.
Bob, Keith, I think in this kind of weather, you may see a number of plays like that. It's just cold enough where a defensive back like Plummer, who probably would have caught that on a warm day, it just hits hard hands, Keith.
Yep, ball gets flicked. Second down and 12 for Penn State. Oh, that's a pretty good play right there. McCoo just is buried under his own blockers as Pickett and Brown just blew up the middle of the line. One of those old bull rushes like you see oftentimes in a town down south called Tallahassee.
That's true. Well, this defense for Ohio State's pretty good, Keith. Only 238 yards a game, 10 points. But look at the bottom. The opponents have only scored on 4 of the 42 possessions against this Buckeye defense this year.
There's another true freshman in that defensive line for Ohio State now, number 98, Mike Collins, with his third down and 17 for the Lions. Cordell Mitchell is back in the backfield. Kevin Thompson's pass is away to the sidelines, and How do you do, Mr. Jones? My name is Plummer.
Yeah.
You picked on me twice. I'm tired of it.
Well, it was third and real long, and they threw a little hitch play out there. It's a safe call. Penn State doesn't want to do anything to back them up. Now they're going to say, well, let's just see if we can get 3 points on the board here. Very conservative call, but that's what you're doing here on the road with an inexperienced quarterback.
And they lost their chance for 3 points.
Well, they did, didn't they? Go to punt.
With that loss, yep. So in to punt is Pigeon, and he'll try to pooch it and kill it deep. The old knuckleball is what you need right here. Just kick it high off the instep, let it wobble around, That's a pretty good kick. Tail dragger, though, if they don't cover it, it'll go to the end zone. Look out. And they get it down at the 1-yard line, but there's a flag waiting back up the line of scrimmage. So
sounding like a special teams coach there, Coach.
I've been yelled at a few times in my life.
Oh, that's a tough penalty. It's illegal substitution.
That's carelessness.
They're going to have to punt it over.
They lose. They had the ball down on the 1-yard line.
Yeah.
It's an infraction. Player did not get inside the 9-yard mark. The offense, 5 yards, 4th down.
It's 4th game of the season. That'll make that man cranky.
Anthony King, the cornerback that was in on the punt coverage, didn't get inside the number before the ball was snapped.
Pigeon punting. Rambo is deep now. Now Patrick can reel out the leg and wham it. Penalty flags again. That ball is kicked into the end zone. But let's see about this flag.
I think I'd decline this if I were Ohio State. Just take it on the 20 and go about our business. Yeah. So they go from the 1-yard line out to the 20-yard line. Coop says, I'll take that. Let's go from here.
As market just went up. 39 seconds remaining in the first quarter. We have no score. Ohio State missed the 40-yard field goal try. Penn State manifesting something of a threat, only to wind up losing on a 3rd and long. And after a succession of punts, it's finally first down, Ohio State at the 20.
Both quarterbacks are starting out the game in pretty good fashion, even though the weather was not made for throwing the football.
Jermaine came into the game having hit 50 of 78 passes and no interceptions so far. Here comes Wiley. Pretty good coverage. Coming across the field on the dead run is Derek Fox out of Canton, Ohio, to make the primary hit on that play. Fox, who had 4 uncles play at Ohio State.
Yeah, that's for sure. He's from Canton, like you said, and his 4 uncles went to Ohio State, and he says, no, I ain't going there. I'm going across the state line over to Pennsylvania, to Penn State. You know, his Tim Fox was one of his uncles. Yep. I played against him. He was an All-American here at Ohio State, and he was a pretty good player at the New England Patriots.
So we have no score in the first quarter, and we'll return after this message and a word from our ABC station.
Room 1203 wants to swim without floaties. Marriott, when you're comfortable, you can do anything.
Meet Sean Graham, veteran stuntman. This is how he lives. This is what he drives. What else would he drive? Chevy S10, like a rock.
At National, we always thought of ourselves as the top car rental company, and now we're glad to see that our customers agree. You see, according to a J.D. Power & Associates study, National's just been ranked the highest car rental company in customer satisfaction in a tie. Thanks. We couldn't have done it without you. How sweet it is to be loved by you. How sweet it is.
Let's go.
You're watching ABC.
Are you ready? Ready to work with people from all nations. Ready to provide a cleaner, safer environment. Ready to experience the true meaning of service. Ready to be connected to the future. Slippery Rock University. Our world is changing. Get ready.
Visit the Haunted Corn Maze at Miss Caroline's Route 97, Waterford.
This is ABC Sports, home of the Bowl Championship Series. Well, the sparring period is done. There was no scoring, and the sparring should have resolved some of the issues that they were considering. Now, the question is whether or not they have found the places where they want to exercise what they think is opportunity. On 2nd down and 8, swinging out to Wiley. Well, that looks a little bit like some of the stuff we saw early. Wiley disappears under 5 white shirts.
That's the 4th time that they've thrown the ball to Wiley out there, and to no avail. Hasn't got anything good out of it.
Ain't going to produce much, I don't think.
But it's good. I like it. It's just getting your big guy out there, but nothing's happening. Here's a look at the numbers. Penn's, Ohio State's had it almost twice as many plays. Look at the bottom number. A lot of tackles for losses. Means the defense is they're getting after him pretty good.
Navy has jumped to a 10-0 lead over West Virginia.
Oh, boy.
Well, the Nibbies are having a good go. Out of the shotgun, Jermaine has time. His pass is away. His man is wide open. David Boston, 1st down, Buckeyes. At the Penn State 48-yard line.
The wide receivers are as a pair, the best pair of wide receivers in the nation. Just run straight down the field. It's double coverage. King had him short, and Lee, 24, had him deep. It's a nice read by the quarterback and the receiver to hang in the open area along the sideline.
On the 48, 1st down, Bucks. Miller's the man in motion. And Wiley has the ball. And number 40, Aaron Gatton, got him by the hind leg and stopped him after about a 3-yard, 4-yard pickup.
And Bob, I have to agree with you about Jermaine. No interceptions because he does a great job breathing. And once he crosses midfield, this is when he can really take advantage of the mismatch between the height of his receivers and the Penn State secondary. He can get them down there, give his boys a chance to go up in the air to make the great catch.
On 2nd down and 6.
Watch the tight end down the middle one of these plays.
They move Lumpkin up to the top of the picture there. It's been available. Back to Wiley. Trying to run in behind Lumpkin, and LeVar Arrington just beat him to the punch and made the tackle.
Arrington's been an outstanding player. Number 11 right there in the middle of all that mass of bodies. Finds his way through. He's a 2nd-year sophomore. He was a running back in high school a couple of years ago. In fact, he was the National High School Player of the Year. He came to Penn State, and what Joe tell us last night, he says he wanted to play linebacker, didn't he?
Yep.
I was kidding Joe. I said, as one of these running backs, you moved to linebacker. He said, no. He wanted to play linebacker.
Got him a warm reception, too. 3rd down and 6. Jermaine's pass is away down the middle. It is Dean Miller who turns back into the center, makes the catch, and gets a 1st down for the Buckeyes.
D. Miller is the receiver on the opposite side of Boston, and it's his own coverage. That's why there's nobody running with him. Jerry Sandusky's going to try and mix up his coverages, and he's done a nice job of it. This team, Buckeyes, this offense is explosive, Keith, and to hold them without any points for almost a quarter and a half is pretty good.
On the Penn State 30, first down. Jermaine hands it to Wiley, and coming from the outside is Scully, and he took him right down. And they're going to deny fumble, I think.
Well, I think it was a fumble, but I think Murphy, 56, was on it.
Scioli came in there like a rocket.
Number 56 for Ohio State, Rob Murphy.
Yeah, you're right. It did. Ball came out, and Murphy got it.
Wiley has had a problem in the past of fumbling. That's only his second fumble this year, but last year he had a problem with that.
So it's second down and 10. Jermaine back. Good protection. Goes underneath. And Wiley dropped the ball.
Well, Wiley has had nothing but success this year throughout the season. But today, it's been tough for him because the swing passes they're throwing to him and the running game that he's been used to having huge holes throughout the first 3 games of the season haven't been there. He just drops that one.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see when Joe Montgomery shows up and they just start banging.
That's part of the power game.
Yep. Third down and 10. Wiley's up going. They got him in behind the line of scrimmage.
Oh, boy.
Scioli again.
Scioli say hello there.
Number 57, Imani Bell, arrived early. He didn't get him, but he messed it up. Big old 57 there is a mere 294 pounds. So let's see now if this would be big time field goal distance, and they're going to try to put it down on the 40.
The one area of this Ohio State team that has not been clicking is what you're seeing right here, the field goal kicker.
So it's 50 yards. The wind's not going to help him. And it continues the light rain. Oh, that's a high snap. And they block it. And it's picked up by the Nittany Lions. King has it, and they throw him out of bounds up around the 47-yard line. David Macklin was the man that came in and got a piece of it. And it was a mess.
Yeah. Well, the snap was high and threw off the timing. Watch the snap. Bartholomew, the punter. Yeah, it was a high snap, threw off the timing of the kicker, and just enough time to allow Macklin. Joe said last night, we need some breaks in the kicking game. He's thinking about getting one for a touchdown.
A champion's pedigree.
We are a company built on engineering mastery. 300 gives us an all-out engineering car.
The all-new 99 Chrysler 300M Sports Sedan.
It's unique, and it's exciting, and it's a basic automotive experience.
The most horsepower, the most torque, and the widest stance in its class. The Chrysler 300M. The technology has changed, but the soul lives on. Lease the all-new Chrysler 300M for just $399 a month.
That looks tasty.
It's a Big King. I got this one for free.
Gonna eat them both?
Not if you let me play baseball.
Baseball? Son, I coach. What position?
Shortstop. No, second base. And I want a bat, too.
Welcome aboard, slugger.
The Flame Broiled Big King. It's like a Big Mac, but tastes better with 75% more beef. Buy one now, say it just tastes better, and get a second one free.
How'd you boys like to play ice hockey?
If you ask us, it just tastes better.
Every man has a mountain to climb.
What part of Russia is he from, anyway?
Krebs, what are you doing shooting?
Krebs, you're here to rebound. Just stay out of the way.
Krebs! Yo, coach, you gotta get this Krebs guy out of here. Krebs. K-R-E-B-S. I know how to spell. I'm from here. Man, you are terrible, terrible.
You want to get somewhere, then work it.
What mountain did you climb today? What beer was there at the top?
Buy you beer. Okay. I have Coors Light. That's C-O-O-R-S.
Coors Light. Frost brewed. Rocky Mountain cold.
Next Saturday, 7th-ranked Penn State takes on Minnesota. Georgia Tech battles NC State, plus other regional action.
Let's go back to the block field goal. Macklin, 27, is on the outside. He comes around. Now, the reason he has enough time to get there is the snap is high. Normally, he wouldn't have time to get there, but with the high snap, Stoltz hesitated, and Coop's not happy. So the ball's too high. The snap's way up here.
All right, they get good field position out of it, and here comes possibly an emotional lift. Aaron Harris is in the ball game for Penn State. Number 25. He's the fellow who broke that 51-yard run that won that game for him over there last year. And Thompson's pass is away down the middle. It is incomplete, intended for Nastasi. Joe Nastasi running with Antoine Winfield, and Winfield's going to win that most of the time.
Well, that's exactly what Penn State wants, though. They want one-on-one down the field with their best receiver. This ball could have been caught. Maybe should have been caught. Nastasi right there with one of the best defensive backs in the country. But Penn State's offense and their passing game is not elaborate. But that type of one-on-one is what they want.
Second down and 10 from their own 47-yard line. Handed off to Cordell Mitchell, and Niall Diggs rides him down. Oh, that cowboy.
That was the first incompletion of Thompson.
Michigan, Iowa among the games that will continue our college football doubleheader. Colorado, Oklahoma, Clemson, North Carolina, Washington State, UCLA. Check your local listings or call your cable or satellite company if you'd like pay-per-view. See what they've got. Back goes Thompson to throw. The pass is caught this time right on the money by Joe Nastasi. He got away over there, and Thompson put it right on the number.
Well, you're not going to catch too many on Antoine Winfield. But Joe says we're going to take our shots. Thompson now 5 of 6 throwing the football on a wet day. Good protection and a nice throw. Winfield off of him, takes the bite to the inside.
Flip. That's a good move by Joe. He's very steady. He's their possession receiver. He's the senior. First down for Penn State. First real threat of the ball game. And it's Mitchell. Cordell Mitchell hit by Andy Katzenmoyer after about a yard pickup. We've got 9:25 to go in the first half of play. No score in the ball game. And Penn State, with a very steady field goal kicking unit, is creeping on down the field. Even if they can't get it in the end zone, they're going to have a shot, I think, at taking the lead. It's McCoo now, the tailback, with Aaron Harris at fullback. Harris is yet to carry it. Thompson's pass is thrown poorly.
Well,
he had McCoo there, and he had about 10 yards of open space.
You're exactly right. And Thompson, you could see Kevin, when he threw the ball and it was incomplete, he knew that he had his man open, and he had the man was the right guy they want to get the ball to, because McCoo has some speed. Falling away.
Rudzinski was coming after him, and he perhaps distracted him.
I think you're exactly right. It would distract me too. When those linebackers come free, they distract you.
They're down in 9. Thompson's pass quickly to the sideline, caught by Corey Jones, and Jones is taken down just about the line of scrimmage. And so now we're going to get a chance to find out about Travis Forney's leg in this kind of weather, under these kind of circumstances. No score with 8:35 to go and counting in the first half.
Joe was talking to him about that little throw out to McCoo. He says, plant your feet, set up. And Thompson was saying, hey, there was a linebacker coming, Hoss.
The holder is Chad Krell. He's a quarterback. It's a 42-yard field goal try for the lead. And he got it. And a penalty flag. Hold it, hold it, hold it. There's a penalty flag. They had to huff and puff to get it over. So let's see if the flag is against Plummer for flying in and nailing the kicker.
Into the kicker. Defense.
Yeah. Decline it. Small penalty anyway. Running into is only 5 yards. Roughing is 15. So Penn State goes to the lead 3-0 on a 42-yard field goal.
Todos.
The mighty Chrysler.
The 300 idea is the idea of a powerful, responsive, nimble automotive machine.
The all-new 99 Chrysler 300M, the most powerful sports sedan in its class.
As long as I've worked on this engine, I still get a tingle every time we open the hood.
The Chrysler 300M. The technology has changed, but the soul lives on. Lease the all-new Chrysler 300M for just $399 a month.
ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Jeep, maker of the Jeep Grand Cherokee, Cherokee, and Wrangler. Coors Light, frost brewed to tap the clean taste of the Rockies. Marriott Hotels, Resorts, and Suites. We believe when you're comfortable, you can do anything. And Chili's, a proud sponsor of ABC's college football. It is 3-0. Penn State leading Ohio State. 8:08 to go in the first half of play. Ohio State, from where I'm sitting, doesn't seem to reflect intensity. Don't know if I'm right or not.
I think the weather, Keith, is affecting Ohio State more than it is Penn State, because their game is more big plays and passing than Penn State is. They want running, defense, and special teams.
The kick is to the 1-yard line for Jonathan Wells. Whoa. Bend him over backwards and take him down at about the 23-yard line by Ron Graham.
Long ago, an inventor came up with the assembly line, allowing a few people to make a lot of something. It was the model for efficiency. At Chili's, we pride ourselves for our inefficiency, because we make each of the Big Mouth burgers by hand, grilled one at a time by a person. And when you taste for yourself how good they are, you'll appreciate all the time we've wasted. Chili's fresh grilled Big Mouth burgers, monuments of inefficiency.
To the ground game now we go with Joe Montgomery. Montgomery is a thumper, and he bangs in there for almost 10 yards on his first carry before Anthony King brings him down. So it may be time now, in the judgment of the offensive coordinator Mike Jacobs, and in particular John Cooper, to let's do a little paint swap.
I think it's an excellent call on Cooper's part to get Montgomery in the ballgame. Change the tempo a little bit.
They gave him a first down on the play, and they just wedge it to the left side, giving it to Matt Keller. And the mass of humanity will move about 2 yards.
Little history on these two teams, Keith. Penn State whooped Ohio State last year in Happy Valley. And Ohio State couldn't run the football. They threw for like 400 yards, but they couldn't run. Now it comes back this year where Ohio State has really beaten Penn State the last 2 times they've been here, but Penn State is slowing them down today.
Jermaine back. Case. Now he's got room. He's got to have the first down. The pursuit is from LeVar Arrington, who reached in there and punched the ball out of his arms, but it went out of bounds, and Ohio State.
What a great play. Arrington, 2 weeks ago, Penn State was off last week, but 2 weeks ago, the last game they played against Pittsburgh, had 3 sacks, an interception for a touchdown. And this is just an outstanding play. Remember, he's the one we talked about being the running back in high school. He's coming on the blitz. He's been held there. He said, to heck with the tackle. I want to make a turnover here.
Even Joe Germain was laughing about it when he went back to the huddle.
Yeah, he was.
They got their first down on the play. Michael Wiley is back in the backfield now for the Buckeyes. Jermaine has run 4 times today and picked up 28 yards. He's the leading rusher for Ohio State.
What does that tell you?
Something's askew. That's what something's working. Well, the Penn State defense is working very well. Now they got Wiley going outside again, back to the throw and catch stuff, and that ball is thrown way back behind Wiley. Wiley had turned upfield and actually had broken free, but Jermaine by then had committed himself and couldn't reel it in. Now time for the Aflac trivia question. The question is, who was? Which was the last, boy, I'm telling you, we're going to have English lessons around here. Which was the last #1 ranked team that Penn State defeated, and in what year? Joe Montgomery's back in the backfield. He's got the ball and in traffic. The Lions stack him up. Pick up of a yard or so. Down in the middle of the melee. Courtney Brown. Courtney Brown finally getting that cast off his hand. He must feel like he's free to go out there and roam around and really play now. Yeah. Very good player.
Yeah.
Just inside 6 minutes to go. Penn State leading 3-0. It is 3rd down and 9 now for Ohio State.
Tight end.
Throw it to Montgomery. 2 guys over there. 3, 4, and the 4th one got him. David Fleischauer. And that is short of the first down, and Ohio State's offense, which is struggling, will have to punt it away. I still think you just got to square up and play smash mouth football.
Yeah, well, this defense is pretty good defense, Keith. They're not,
I do appreciate that.
And the rain is helping the defense.
Bartholomew back to punt. And Branch is waiting. Lucky ball. That's not very good.
On the way.
But it takes an Ohio State roll and will roll inside to the 13-yard line. So it rolled about 15 yards on the wet field, but winds up only a 28-yard kick. But they're pinned pretty deep.
It's been totally re-engineered and redesigned with more safety features, more performance, more luxury, and more power than ever before. Introducing the all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee. The most capable sport utility ever.
To the stadium to hear the band, by far the finest in the land. I want to go back to Ohio State, to old Columbus town. I want to go back, I gotta go back to Ohio, Ohio, Ohio. The hills stand back and cry, we're here to do or die. Ohio, Ohio, we'll win the game or know the reason why.
Promotional consideration provided by National Car Rental, the official car rental company of the Bowl Championship Series on ABC.
Penn State defensive coordinator huddling with his troops, and they've been outstanding so far. So I think so far in the ball game, Jerry's the winner, don't you?
I do too. I'm sure he loves the rain that is coming down. The weather helps him, of course.
And the visage of John Cooper tells you very clearly how he feels about the circumstance.
Yep.
Ohio State now. Let's see whether or not Fred Puckett says, "Lay your ears back, boys, and go get them." Who is the man in motion? Turn and hand the ball inside. That's Aaron Harris's first carry of the day. And he might have a yard out of it. Rudzinski among those getting there early, number 35. So Aaron Harris wearing that big knee brace. He tore up the leg the week after he had that huge run in the Ohio State game over at Happy Valley, won by Penn State last year, 31-27. And he is, I think, probably the most gifted of their running backs.
But Joe says he's not back to 100% yet. He's working his way back, but he's nowhere near where he was.
Clinton Wayne is in at defensive tackle now for Ohio State. Carrying a sore leg, but in there. Thompson back, gets the pressure. Ball comes out of his hand, rolling around the end zone. Touchdown, Ohio State, Rudzinski. Joyously, looking a lot like a forest to the north with all the colors from the poncho.
Yeah, you're right.
Extra point try now by Stokes. Let's see if they can get this thing organized. It's been a little tricky so far today for them. And field goal wise. All right. 3:55 to go in the first half, and the Buckeyes get a break. They lead 7-3.
It's a defensive day, Keith. It's a rainy, cold, raw day. Play action pass. The quarterback wants to come out this way, but Rudzinski is blitzing untouched. The ball will slip out of his hands. Quarterback surprised right there, tries to throw it quickly. The ball slips out, and the defense gets the first touchdown. No question that that's a fumble and not an incomplete pass. That ball just slips out of his hand.
So the senior in the linebacking core for the Buckeyes gets the big play. And the rain right now appears to have let up. But it is wet all over the place.
Well, everything had been going just fine for Joe Pa until that point right there.
Ball hangs up. And it's accepted back at the 10-yard line by Titus Pettigrew. Now the Buckeyes showing a little more spirit and vigor. Come down to get him short of the 20-yard line, and away we go to John Saunders.
Keith, in time now for the Burger King update. Florida State against Maryland didn't take long. Chris Wenke back to pass, hooks up with Lavernius Coles, who gets bumped a couple of times and then just waltzes into the end zone. 38 yards, 7-0. And how about this score? Navy right now with a big lead on West Virginia in the second quarter. Keith.
Wow. All right, the middies. They're just short of the 20-yard line, and it's first down. And now the crowd, for the first time today, starts to come alive. Being heard from. Cordell Mitchell is the beat man. Penalty flags all over the place just before the ball is snapped. There's another 17-3 score kicking around here somewhere. Georgia Tech beating Duke 17-3 in the first half of play.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense. 5 yards, still first down.
There's no option. They'll impose the 5-yard penalty. Earlier, we asked you the Aflac trivia question, which was the last #1 team Penn State defeated and in what year? It was Notre Dame. Notre Dame beaten by Penn State. The Irish were #1 in the country. Penn State number 18. It was in 1990, November 17. Craig Viac kicked the field goal to beat the Irish. And they frolicked well into the night in Happy Valley.
Yes, they did.
Handed to Mitchell. Buckeye defense now cranked up. Rudzinski, who had the touchdown, getting that tackle. I wish Joe would wear a hat.
Sue'd be a lot happier. Here are the other 3 teams that Joe beat during his career when they were ranked. The other team was ranked #1. Marino was playing at Pittsburgh. Herschel Walker was at Georgia. And Vinny Testaverde and Jimmy Johnson at Miami.
Second down and 15 for the Lions. Buckeyes leading 7-3. Thompson back over the middle it goes, and it is caught by Quincho Brown. Well, Ohio State hasn't thrown to its tight end yet, but the Lions just did, and big old Quincho Brown hauled it in.
Yeah, Franny Ganner, the offensive coordinator, and this is a big throw for Kevin Thompson. Tight end right here, going to go straight up the middle. Last time Thompson tried to throw it, slipped out of his hand, but he's back in the groove. It's a tough thing for a quarterback to overcome. He makes a big mistake. Not only does it's a turnover, but it costs you 7 points.
Ball out on the 33-yard line now after the first down. Ball is handed away to Mitchell. Life became a little more hazardous all of a sudden down in the trenches. Matt LeVar, number 48 out there. He's a junior from Maumee, Ohio, 6'3", 250. Not all that big for a guy hunkering down, but good player.
Ex-linebacker, they moved the defensive end.
Second down and 8. Thompson back, lets it go, and it's swept away, incomplete. Defending on the play is Antoine Winfield against Shafi Field.
There's your coverage, single coverage. Winfield, number 11. Winfield's going to eat this up. Watch him. See, he breaks. He comes inside, knocks the ball away. They don't complete many passes on Antoine Winfield.
And Bob, I don't think anyone's going to beat Antoine Winfield with a single move. You need to have a double move, a triple move, and a little hokey doke all thrown in there.
Yeah, with a wet field, I don't think there are going to be many of those.
Third and 8. Brown in motion. Run it with Mitchell. Stop it with Damon Moore. Fourth down and 8.
Well, they want to throw when they expect to run, and if they're expecting pass on 3rd and 7 or 3rd and 8, we don't want to throw the football. We're going to run it. So,
with 2 minutes to play now, Ohio State has called a timeout because they're going to get the ball, and they didn't want Penn State to stand over there and count merrily away while 25 seconds disappeared. So they stopped it with a timeout. 7-3, the Buckeyes are leading, and suddenly after that break for them in the end zone, Rudzinski covering the fumble, loose ball that slipped out of Thompson's hand. They have come out with a goodly bit more vigor. That's Kenyon Rambo, who is walking around trying to stay loose and wait for the punt.
Get on to the game and forget about the hassles of driving and parking.
Now we'll look at this week's Marriott moment. Number 7, Ohio State last year went into Penn State's Happy Valley against number 2. The Buckeyes got a great performance from Joe Germain, 378 yards passing. David Boston caught 14 passes. D. Miller, 8. But It was this man, Penn State's Aaron Harris, who broke a 51-yard run, lifting the Penn State Nittany Lions to victory.
That was last year. John Cooper, always gracious, isn't he? The victory or defeat. He's done a nice job here at Ohio State. Outstanding. He's done very good coach. Doesn't get a lot of, I don't think he gets enough appreciation and respect for what he's done here, Keith.
I agree.
Now, Coop did tell us yesterday that they had a punt block on. Doesn't look like they're going to do it here, though.
No, they double up on the cover man down on both sides of the field now.
They got a return on.
Got a return on, trying to give Rambo a little room. Put two guys on those speedsters now, and the hot man coming down the field. One of them got loose. Rambo's looking at him. Now he's going to outrun him. Get around the corner. Scary Adams. He had some room. And he's out of bounds to stop the clock up at midfield. So Scary Adams was the hot man coming down, but he got away from him. And it's first down for Ohio State. Now, here's John and Tom.
Well, Keith, coming up on Valvoline Halftime 98, my conversation with Andy Katzenmoyer, who talks about his troubled offseason.
No matter what I do, there's always going to be somebody paying attention, looking over my shoulder, and judging me on my decisions.
You know, Keith and Bob haven't had to call the Big Cat's name too much, but you know he's out there. He's a big play waiting to happen.
All right, that and the scores and highlights all coming up on Valvoline Halftime 98. Keith.
All right, John, the ball is on the 49-yard line for this snap. Joe Germain rolling out, trying to buy a little time. Scioli's after him. The pass is away. The man's there down on the 35-yard line. D. Miller burst down. Buckeyes.
I like the call. Mike Jacobs, the offensive coordinator, they know they're going to be rushing the passer, Germain, very hard, so get him out of the pocket. Get him outside on that dash pattern.
And Bob, you notice that the wide receivers, Miller and David Boston, they're all trying to get that ball and pull it into their bodies and use their bodies to make the catch. It's just cold enough where I said before, your hands are a little hard, but if you get your body into it and you trap that ball, it's a safer catch and you protect the ball. Keith?
More to it than that, Swanee. My body's got a funny quiver. Germain rolling out. There's a takedown. Now that's holding. I'll guarantee you, folks, that play won't count because back up field, we had an old-fashioned takedown by big old Tyson Walter. He just grabbed him, picked him up, and thumped him. Right between the shoulder blades. Save that move for the county fair. I can get you $500 for that. He wasn't going to let him get anywhere near his quarterback.
Well, the quarterback was rolling out toward Walter on that time, and he just... I think John's not happy with the call. So the guy fell down. My guy fell on top of him. He can fall on top of it.
18-yard penalty. First down and 28 now. With a minute and a half to go. Germain back. Protection's good. Pass is complete. D. Miller. Miller's still going. Still going. Oh, he's something. Down to the 33-yard line on the play.
Sounded like you were selling batteries. He's going. He's still going.
All he needed was a snare drum, and he might have scored.
Macklin misses the tackle, and Miller just keeps going.
Second down and 8. Germain's pass is slapped down at the line of scrimmage. LeVar Arrington knocked it down. Great leaper, Arrington. You got to get it up over him. He'll go get it. So it's going to be third down and 8 now for the Buckeyes. They lead 7-3.
Here's what we've been talking about, Keith. Tight end down the middle, and he was open that time. He had coverage by a linebacker, but that's been there most of the afternoon.
Germany and Rambo on the field. Underneath. Oh my goodness, that's almost intercepted by Fleischauer. David Fleischauer, the tackle, stood up and hit him right in the chest. Matt Keller might have been the man they were looking for.
Behind the defense, Fleischar, 95, doesn't get much of a pass rush, and he just happens to get in the way of the back coming out of the backfield.
So it is 4th and 8, and they're going.
And I think this is good. It's too long for a field goal. You don't want to punt it. It's near the end of the half. He's got one of the best defenses in the country. If you don't make it, you're going to stop him.
50 seconds to play. 5-0. On the 33. 4th and 8. King. Bullet. D. Miller. I mean, Joe Germain just hummed it. That's called the old X.
There was double coverage, but it was a poor double coverage. Miller just came underneath both the defensive backs and made the play.
And on first down, Germain goes down the middle for the tight end, and he didn't hold it. Incomplete forward pass. Lumpkin had it right at the goal line, and it's squirted out.
Well, this is what we've been talking about all first half. Here's the defensive back here. He's going to double on the outside. These two guys over here, and the tight end is going to be open right down the middle of the field. The two safeties split and go to the outside. The tight end right up the chute.
2nd and 10.
He took a pretty good lick.
Fox does a nice job of coming back off of doubling the outside and getting a hit on the tight end. That's just good defensive play.
Big John almost reeled it in. He's 6'8", 260, senior from Dayton. It's 2nd down and 10 with 35 seconds to play. Handed off to Keller. And Keller, the fullback, lunges to the sidelines at the 20-yard line, stopping the clock at 28 seconds.
Taken out of bounds by Anthony King.
Keller did a nice job just getting out of bounds there.
He's a good football player.
He is. He went to Cincinnati Moeller with Rob Murphy, the starting left guard.
It is 3rd and 8 now. Buckeyes are milking a lot out of this last 2 minutes, aren't they? Haven't scored yet, though. Miller's back out there. Germain looks down the middle, goes to Wiley. Touchdown.
What a great call that was, Keith.
Wiley's run 9 times for 23 yards, caught 5 passes for 31 and a touchdown. And here's Dan Stokes for the extra point. And on a cold, rainy day, it's 14-3, Ohio State in Columbus.
Great call. The safeties are going to double on the outside on the wide receivers. They tried earlier in this drive to get the tight end down the middle. That didn't work, so they go the other side to the halfback, and they get the halfback down the middle. Now, the halfback's got to have some speed. He puts a little move, goes right down the middle, and splits the safeties. Safeties split to the outside. They're looking to the tight end to get down the middle. You saw 43 short looking for the tight end, but they beat Arrington, number 11. Nice throw and catch.
Well, Bob, this is where the experience of being a wide receiver for Michael Wiley comes in so handy. So often you get a good running back, you have to teach him how to be some kind of receiver. For Michael Wiley, it's just reverse. Every time he's in the backfield, he has the potential of being the 3rd wide and true wide receiver for the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Good point.
23 seconds remaining now as Ohio State will kick off. Through the Lions. Ball's lifted up. And it's taken at the 12 by Pettigrew. And the Buckeyes take care of Titus at the 22-yard line.
Germain now 12 of 19. The offense kicking in a little bit. Wiley's caught 5, and Miller's got 5.
Yeah, the whole tempo of the ball game and the energy of Ohio State picked up after that fumbled recovery in the end zone.
Exactly. Everyone. David Boston has 1 reception.
There's that 4th down completion.
4th down completion. Yeah, like you said, that drive took forever.
Yep. They'll run it with Mitchell coming up the middle, and they apparently are willing to go to the clubhouse. They're going to put that ball up and give the Buckeyes a chance to handle it that close to their goal line. And once the chains are put down, the clock will go again with 12 seconds. So they'll have 1 more.
Joe's ready to take it to the house.
Yep, he's ready to go in and have a little visit.
Have a little chicken soup, a little broth, and warm up and talk about it.
Well, I thought Penn State held up very well. Ohio State did get one late to lead 14-3 at halftime, and here's John Saunders.
All right, Keith, thanks a lot. And Todd, as you watch the first half, really the difference is the guy calling the signals.
Yeah, Joe Germain in the last 2 minutes. That's the difference between a solid quarterback, an experienced quarterback, and a young quarterback. Penn State tried to protect theirs, go in with the small deficit. They gave the ball to Joe Germain at the end, took him right down for a big touchdown.
All right, stick around. Valvoline Halftime 98 after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
No, it's not a keyhole. I'm not looking through the doorway at someone. I'm looking through the on-net port of entry to a seamless global network. A network that will change the fortunes of countless companies and the lives of thousands of telecom managers and CIOs. I see them out there right now. They seem rather happy. On-net from MCI WorldCom.
Put to the test, America's most trusted lives up to its name. Die Hard. What's under your hood?
With some of the most advanced safety systems ever engineered into a 4x4, including QuadraDrive, our most advanced 4-wheel drive system ever, and an all-new quick-response steering system, it's no wonder the all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee is one of the safest ways to cross treacherous terrain. The all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee, the most capable sport utility ever.
Hey, can you play Macarena?
Yeah, will you play Smoking Broken Heart? Hey, man, my girl left me. Could you send out a tune?
I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back. I want my baby back, baby back, I got my baby back.
It's Thrifty Car Rental's 40th birthday, so let's get the show on the road. Call 1-800-4CARS. There's something special going on at Thrifty Car Rental and Blockbuster Video. You rent a car from Thrifty, you get a free movie rental from Blockbuster Video. Just ask. When you rent a car at Thrifty, you'll drive home with a free movie rental from Blockbuster Video. Get the show on the road with Thrifty Car Rental and Blockbuster Video. Call 1-800-4CARS.
You're watching ABC.
Hi, I'm Rick Weaver, and we've got some great news. Due to the recent strike settlement, we now have plenty of 98 Buicks, Pontiacs, and GMC trucks on our lot, with more arriving daily. And the new 99s are coming right behind. This means great deals for you. There's never been a better time to buy. So come and see us at 12th and Liberty and make yourself a super deal.
Rick Weaver, Buick Pontiac GMC. All at one convenient location.
Watch Montel, weekday mornings at 9 on TV 24.
Valvoline, halftime 98. Brought to you by Valvoline. You can always tell the guys who use Valvoline. From our New York studios, John Saunders and Todd Blackledge. 14
14-3, Ohio State with the lead over Penn State with the second half still to come. Let's get right to the scores and highlights. In the SEC, Alabama last week in a loss to Arkansas did not get a first down passing the football. Today facing Florida, who you know is going to throw it all over the place. Doug Johnson in it this time. Travis McGriff gets it down to the Alabama 10-yard line. It leads to a field goal, and Doug Johnson, the guy in, was moving the ball nicely.
Well, he threw 5 touchdown passes last week against Kentucky. Here he gets a little greedy, picked off by Fernando Bryant. Alabama playing much better this week at home.
And look at the Florida offense held to 6 points right now. San Jose State against Virginia. How'd you like to be San Jose State? It's homecoming at Virginia.
Yeah, well, it's homecoming this week. The next 2 times San Jose State goes on the road, homecoming too. Right now, giving Virginia all they can handle.
And James Hodgson with a 2-yard touchdown run in that game. Florida State against Maryland in the ACC. Chris Wenke, since that 6-interception game, 50 consecutive passes without having one picked. And this one adds to that streak as he hooks up with Lavernius Coles.
A lot of confidence throwing that ball to Coles. Nobody on the Noles has turned the ball over. Turnover free since that loss to North Carolina State.
Wisconsin ranked number 13, but Todd, really, they haven't played anyone.
No, they have not played a very tough schedule. Right now, Indiana playing very well at home. Ron Dane, they're containing him, only 32 yards. And Antoine Randall L., a very talented quarterback, giving Wisconsin some trouble on defense.
Navy jumped out to a lead over West Virginia, but West Virginia has come back. Mark Bolger with 2 touchdown passes there. And as you can see, Steve Hawley, 4 of 6 for 105 yards. But this one right now even at 17 apiece. Texas A&M, a team that has impressed us this year.
Texas A&M has played great defense all year. They're trying to get a little more going on offense. New quarterback in, McCown's in today. But Dante Hall doing it on the ground, 98 yards and a couple touchdowns.
Joe Hamilton with 2 touchdown passes as Georgia Tech leads Duke 24-6. Miami against Rutgers. Edgerrin James has a touchdown run there, but it's just a 6-3 game. Illinois and Northwestern, the state of college football and the state of Illinois, not real good right now.
Not very good. Not a lot of points scored by either of those teams this year so far. 7-3 at the half. Illinois trying to break a lot of losing streaks they have going right now.
Michigan State at 1-3 on the season and trailing Central Michigan a couple of years ago. Central Miss won back-to-back games against them.
Michigan State coming in, giving up well over 400 yards a game total defense, so that's not the kind of defense they're used to playing in East Lansing.
All right, stick around. When we come back, we're going to hear from Andy Katzenmoyer. A lot of people have taken shots at this guy. Some say it's just, some say not. Just the same, he knows he lives in a fishbowl.
People expect me to say the right thing, do the right thing at all times, be the perfect role model, be the perfect person, and not be a human being, not make mistakes.
Katzenmoyer's team hasn't made too many mistakes today. Jerry Rudzinski here with a nice move, knocks the ball to the end zone, falls on it for the touchdown. Stick around, back in a moment.
Head out on the highway, looking for adventure, and whatever comes our way. Oh yeah. Here we are, gonna make it. Born to be wild. Born to be wild.
Select road. Validating tires.
What kind of road can you drive on with BF Goodrich tires?
Approved. Enjoy.
Any road you choose. BF Goodrich tires. Take control.
Andy Katzenmoyer continues here on Valvoline Halftime 98. His squad with a 14-3 lead, or rather 14-3 lead right now in this contest against Penn State. Now, you've heard all the talk about Andy Katzenmoyer, that he's not interested in school, that the only reason he went to Ohio State was to make it to the National Football League. Well, there's little question that that is the reason Andy Katzenmoyer is at Ohio State. He expects to go to the next level. But after meeting him earlier this week, I was pleasantly surprised to find out he is learning in the biggest classroom of all.
A lot of people pointed the finger and basically said that Andy Katzenmoyer is at Ohio State so he can become a professional. How do you address that?
I mean, there are a lot of players that come out of Ohio State to play in the NFL. It's a, you know, it's a great place to come, refine your skills, but I'm here to get education, have fun, play football, and if I can go on, you know, of course I will.
During that time period, to think that all these people are talking about the courses you're taking, whether or not they are up to snuff, whether or not you're actually here because you want to go to school or because you want to play football. What was it like to handle that at the time?
Very difficult. It was to wake up every day and read the paper and see who was bashing you that day, or why they felt that I was dumb. You know, I had rough times in the winter. I fell off track, and I paid for that in the summer. And, you know, I've learned my lesson from that. It's my own fault. There's nothing I can do about it, but...
You had to go through what you've termed yourself an embarrassing incident last winter with the DWI and being underage and that. Talk about how hard was that for your parents, do you think?
Very hard. After the fact, after it happened, seeing their faces, I was very embarrassed.
When you are in your position now, you have to look at it two ways. You know that, yes, it's illegal for me to do this, this, and this, but you also have to know that it's also just not smart because of who I am. Is that a lesson, too?
Oh, very much. I've always wanted myself to be a Joe Schmo off the field, and through that I learned that I can't be.
How tough is that? How tough is it to be Andy Katzenmoyer in Columbus, Ohio?
It's really challenging at times. I mean, I don't go out to eat much. I basically don't do anything. I come to practice, go to class, and go home. No matter what I do, there's always going to be somebody paying attention, looking over my shoulder, and judging me on my decisions.
Do you think it's fair? Do you think it's fair?
Do I think it's fair? No. Is it life? Am I gonna be judged? Yeah. Life's not fair.
Todd, I really got the impression that this guy has learned from the mistakes he made. But keep this in mind, as a youngster, he was bigger than everyone else. He was teased, would come home crying to his mother. Because of that, I think he became shy and introverted and geared into football. As for the NFL, well, he definitely wants to go to the National Football League, and everyone, including myself, thinks that he'll do it at the end of this year, but he says he hasn't made up his mind yet.
Yeah, Joe, I don't think the kid's a bad kid in any way. I just think his vision is a little too narrow. I've never thought it was the best policy to always put all your eggs in one basket, in this case, a lucrative career in the NFL. But make no mistake about it, this guy is a phenomenal athlete and player. Very rare to have the combination of speed and strength and power, plus the football instincts that this guy has. And, John, a smart thing he did this year, he lost 25 pounds from last year. He's a much quicker, much better football player this year.
All right, Katzenmoyer's squad is up 14-3. Second half still to come. And the second half of our doubleheader comes your way as well. We'll stay in the Big Ten, where Michigan now starting to make a move.
Well, they're starting to play better run defense. The first two games, they gave up over 200 yards rushing to Notre Dame and Syracuse, both losses. The last 2 weeks, they've held their opponents to under 100 yards. Not coincidentally, they've won both those games. Better run defense.
Some of you will see UCLA against Washington State. UCLA's won 12 in a row. Last Pac-10 team to get them, Washington State.
Yeah, and that game kept them out of the Rose Bowl, and it was a 4th and 1 on the goal line. Jermaine Lewis was in for a tired Skip Hicks. He was stopped on this play, but he hasn't been stopped much this year. 6 times he's found the end zone, one of the real explosive weapons that UCLA has on offense.
In the ACC, it's hard to believe that Clemson and North Carolina on a downturn.
Carr Torbush hasn't won a game yet at North Carolina, but he gets his quarterback, Oscar Davenport, back from a knee injury. He's hoping that the leadership and the experience of Davenport will help his offense get off the schneid and get win number 1.
For Colorado, the season started, no one talking about them. Right now, they're 4-0.
Rick Neuheisel had a real tough decision at the start of the season. He had to pick a quarterback. He settled on junior college transfer Mike Machete, and it's paid dividends. The Buffs are 4-0. He's given them great leadership. The big key now is keeping Machete healthy. The last 2 games, he's actually finished on the sidelines because of some nagging injuries. He's got to stay healthy.
All right, check local listings for the game you will see in your area. It's a very big doubleheader weekend here Saturday on ABC's College Football. Right now, Ohio State has the lead. Jermaine hooks up with his back. Wiley out of the backfield for the touchdown. 14-3 Buckeyes.
Some people have shrinks. Some people have their garage.
MetLife financial professionals believe the best way to discuss your financial future, including mutual funds, annuities, and insurance, is face-to-face. That's why we make house calls. Get Met. It pays.
This year, over 400,000 aluminum radiators will corrode and fail. But Prestone antifreeze bonds with aluminum, forming the Prestone zone of protection against corrosion. It's your car. Protect it in the Prestone zone.
Still going. I've had marriages that didn't last this long.
Valvoline, halftime 98. Brought to you by Valvoline. You can always tell the guys who use Valvoline.
Is the ball a part of you? Does the grass carry you? Is the water there to catch you? Do you dream big? Do you?
Can you believe there's actually a place where a man can give you everything you want with just a snap of his fingers? The place, Fantasy Island.
Try this.
The man, the deliciously devious Mr. Rourke.
I have something to show you.
Fantasy Island, followed by Cupid, ABC Saturdays, tonight, 9/8 Central.
Minnesota meets Green Bay, Monday at 8.
The Bowl Championship Series is online with live action, interviews, game highlights, and live polls at ESPN.com and on America Online.
Virginia leading San Jose State 10-7 now. Aaron Brooks with a 12-yard touchdown run. And Maryland trying to fight back against Florida State. Randall Jones to Moses Cruz, the touchdown there. Maryland on the board 13-7. Time now to introduce our Burger King Scholar Athlete of the Week award. Each week, Burger King Corporation and its National Franchise Association will donate $1 million during the season to scholarship funds of recipient colleges and universities. This week's Scholar Athlete is Jason DeGroot, wide receiver at the University of Houston. Jason, a finance major with a perfect 4.0 GPA, is an active member of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, where he stresses the need to stick to your academics.
I've learned that being a college athlete, not everybody gets the opportunity to go to the NFL, and that's why grades are so important, because only a small percentage make it to the next level.
Jason DeGroot, the Burger King Scholar Athlete. 14-3 is the lead. ABC's college football will continue after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Computers would be easier if they were just a little smarter. One day, computers will be incredibly valuable personal assistants.
Would you like to schedule an appointment?
Sure.
How about Saturday, 2 p.m.?
Okay. Computers will recognize who you are, recognize your voice, and understand what you're saying. Oh, yeah. Know your mood, personality. You getting this?
Got a light truck or sport utility vehicle? Then get it to Sears, the place to get the new Dunlop Rover Touring LT tire. A sporty tire with a wide footprint, plus great performance and handling. On sale now at Sears, your smart stop for tires and batteries.
This is for my dad, who worked the night shift to make our lives better. And for myself. For my future.
Be all that you can be.
I want to put you in a
new GMC Yukon
Denali. No payments ever.
Visit any Red Roof Inn before October 31st and enter to win a new
Yukon Denali. And the price?
I'm giving it away. No payments ever. Hey, imagine.
Yeah.
I'll do this. A new Yukon Denali from Red Roof Inn.
Plus, you could win a year's worth of AT&T prepaid calling. Every guest gets a free AT&T prepaid card. Call us crazy. But call us today.
And with a smile. Call 1-800-THE-ROOF. Red Roof Inns. Nice people and an honest value.
In every episode of this award-winning drama,
the jury will look for any excuse to set your guy free.
You'll see why the practice...
All we have to do is give the jury something to believe.
...is the best.
Homicide?
Yep. Boyfriend bludgeoned the babysitter. This is the witness.
Emmy winner, Best Drama. All new practice, ABC Sunday at 10, 9 Central.
For more than 30 years, the Manufacturers Association of Northwest Pennsylvania and Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield have provided cost-competitive health care plans to employers. Here's one of over 5,000 companies currently enrolled.
And the Manufacturers Association has always come back to be the front runner whenever we've looked to review insurance costs.
For more information, call the Manufacturers Association today.
Hi, I'm Rick Weaver, and we've got some great news. Due to the recent strike settlement, we now have plenty of 98 Buicks, Pontiacs, and GMC trucks on our lot, with more arriving daily. And the new 99s are coming right behind. This means great deals for you. There's never been a better time to buy. So come and see us at 12th and Liberty and make yourself a super deal.
Rick Weaver, Buick Pontiac GMC, all at one convenient location.
Quality. You'll find it in YSU's associate degree programs. In this age of rapidly changing technology, individuals with technical skills are in demand, and YSU can help you accelerate your career in the most sought-after fields. Fields like computer and office information systems, drafting and design, and electrical, civil, and mechanical engineering technology. You can be secure in the fact that hands-on classes and internships with employers give our students exceptionally high placement rates. Quality is in the details at Youngstown State University.
Full hour of MASH, weekdays at 4 on TV 24.
Raindrops all over the place as we go to the third quarter. Ohio State leading Penn State 14-3. The Buckeyes will kick off to the Nittany Lions to start the second half. The field continues to be quite firm and in pretty good shape, but it is wet. Eric McCoo, number 8, and Bruce Branch, number 1, are the beat people for Penn State. Schultz gets a good one. 2-3 yards into the end zone for Branch, who's coming out. Mistake down at the 14-yard line. Highlights from the first half.
Well, there weren't too many. David Macklin blocks the field goal attempt by Stoltz. That sets up the first field goal by Forney. A 42-yarder put Penn State ahead. This mistake, Ruzinski sacks the quarterback and recovers for a touchdown. And then Jermaine to Wiley. A nice call, 14-3 at half.
It's Cordell Mitchell in the backfield. And Ceramelli, that's Ceramelli. It's Ceramelli on the first carry from the 15-yard line, and he'll wedge it up for about 4 yards. Now a look at the Morgan Stanley Dean Witter first half stats.
The turnover by Penn State we just showed you led to 7 points by Ohio State. Look at the numbers for Penn State. Not much there if you're an offensive-minded person. If you like defense, it's pretty good defense for Ohio State. Ohio State with over 200 yards at half. They're averaging over 500 yards per game.
Kevin Thompson back to throw it, swings it out to Mitchell, and Mitchell is shut down behind the line of scrimmage by Andy Katzenmoyer. Pretty hard to go east and west against Katzenmoyer.
Yeah, he can run sideways, Keith. Andy Katzenmoyer, I think only one tackle in the first half. Here's Katzenmoyer. The play is going to go out here, and he's just going to draw a bead on the tailback on this wide swing pass. He can make that play. A lot of coaches say they like to run right at him, even though he's so big, because he runs from sideline to sideline so well.
Oh, it is 3rd and 8. Moore creeping in. Damon Moore on a blitz coming in. Well, he didn't really blitz. He just sort of crept into things. And when Joe Nastasi came around on the would-be reverse, wham.
He saw that.
Fell.
He saw that whole thing coming. Damon Moore. It's a reverse. Moore sees it coming. I want to thank you very much. He doesn't get a lot of attention with Antoine Winfield in that secondary, but he's got to be one of the best safeties in the country.
He's the guy that Joe Paterno talked about all week long. Yep. 4th and 17 now. The punt will have to come out of the end zone. Pat Tidgeon back there, and Kenyon Rembo waiting for Ohio State. Buckeyes ought to come out of here with pretty good. They block it! Ball's in the end zone. Touchdown, Ohio State. Percy King blocked the kick.
If you're going after a punt, that's a great opportunity to score either on a punt return or a punt block.
So an explosion to start the second half. Joe Cooper covered the ball after Percy King blocked it. And the kick is good. And it's 21-3, just like that.
We asked John Cooper yesterday if he had anything going, and he said, yeah, from the outside. These guys are all going to turn to the outside. Percy King is on the inside, is going to have a path to the kicker. Everybody turns away from him, and he's got an alley to the punter. The score team.
He almost caught that thing right in the breadbasket.
He almost took it off his foot.
Wani?
Bob, Keith, Joe Paterno was talking about situations like this when he came out for the second half. He said, sure, the mistakes hurt us in the first half, but it was that turnover that suddenly got Ohio State and the fans back in the game and changed the emotion. He said, we got to come back in the second half and execute, play better football, no mistakes, and not let the fans get up and back in this ball game. As you can clearly tell by the band playing and the fans here, they are back in this ball game. It'll be much tougher for the Penn State Nittany Lions. Bob, Pete?
Kickoff. Branch and the two waiting. Branch circling, muffs it, picks it up at the 11-yard line and runs it out across the 22. Joe Cooper, who's pretty good on that special team, is a hot man. Having just scored the touchdown, made the tackle.
Ohio State defense, Keith, is what they've done today. They fumbled, had a fumble recovery in the end zone for a touchdown. They blocked a punt for a touchdown, and the rest of the time they've done pretty well also. This defense came in ranked number 9 in the nation in total defense, and they're going to move up from there if they continue playing the way they're playing here today.
Aaron Harris is at fullback. Cordell Mitchell is behind him as the deep back. Concho Brown is in motion. Give it to Mitchell. And Mitchell gets away from 1, 2. And nice run by Cordell Mitchell before he's finally pushed out by Plummer. And it's up across the 40 to the 42. First down for the Lions.
Well, Joe told us last night, Keith, when we met with him, that he needed something good to happen on the special teams, a kicking game. He wanted to get a punt return or a kickoff return, maybe a block punt for a touchdown for his side. He wasn't thinking about the other side getting one. Now they've gotten 2 defensive scores against his offense.
run up to the 45. A pickup of 3 yards. Diggs made the tackle. Tuesday night after Spin City, go behind the scenes on Sports Night. That's Tuesday at 9:30, 8:30 Central on ABC, the all-new Tuesday.
You used to work in a studio giving sports news way back when you started, didn't you?
Oh, yeah,
back
did. Dealt with hard news.
Yeah, you could probably identify with them back in the.
I don't think so.
I don't think you can identify with them, huh?
2nd down and 7. And the pass completed to Shafi Fields down on his knees. I never found a whole lot of real life behind the scenes in the newsroom.
There's a look at the Penn State numbers on offense.
Maybe it's hanky-panky they're looking for.
A little hanky-panky going on. Well, there's hanky-panky everywhere these days.
Seems like it. 3rd down and 2. Here comes Moore. Pass is away, and it is incomplete. Damon Moore messed that up. He got right into Kevin Thompson's face.
Damon Moore, number 13, a strong safety on a little blitz. It's been a better year this year for Damon Moore. It was a tough year last year for him.
He's a bright and shiny guy, though. He stopped by to visit a little bit yesterday, and it was fun to see him.
Yeah.
4th down and 2. Pigeons punt, no pressure. Rambo circles under it, runs away from one, and got up to about the 19-yard line before 18-yard line before he's out of bounds. 36-yard punt and a 4-yard return.
For Dan and Lisa, it just clicked. So they loaded up their Ford Expedition and got back to doing what they loved, answering the call of the wild.
I lost them.
And they unleashed a beast of their own. That big 5.4-liter Triton V8.
And you thought Little Red Riding Hood got a close look. Ford Expedition. Built Ford tough.
License Peter Lynch, the fidelity guy. I could overlook some very tedious paperwork for a hot stock tip.
Buying what's hot without doing the research is not investing. It's gambling.
Oh, really?
Here's a tip. Call Fidelity. They'll help you figure out what's right for you.
For your free investing guide, call 1-800-FIDELITY or visit fidelity.com.
Thanks, Hotshot. Watch your fingers.
Afraid your next get-together will be a flop? Order Chili's Party Platters. Act now. Call a Chili's representative, and your guests will flip over party-sized servings of buffalo wings, fajitas, baby back ribs, and more. End pre-party stress now. Order Chili's Party Platters new from Chili's.
Want to color your gray beard or mustache and look natural? Get Just for Men Gel.
You look so natural, no one can tell with Just for Men Gel.
Brush in and in 5 minutes, gray is gone.
No one can tell with Just for Men Gel.
Why are business travelers choosing Sleep Inn? The well-lit grounds, the electronic locks, the walk-in showers, complimentary breakfast. Because it's a place that understands the needs of the business traveler. It's all those things, plus the service.
Hey, knock it off.
Is incredible. If you're traveling on business, stay at Sleep Inn, in a class by itself.
ABC Tuesday, the Taylors are back and looking real pine.
Honestly, what do you think?
It's kind of a lumber jacket.
Yeah. Home Improvement, ABC Tuesday.
21-3 is correct. Early in the 3rd quarter of play, as Ohio State's defense has been the primary offense in putting points on the board. They send out Wiley as the deep back behind Keller. Jermaine, obviously quarterback. Boston and Miller are the wideouts. And Murphy snapping the ball at center. And Penn State almost jumped, but They move back now on the shift to the tight end to the other side and give it inside to Michael Wiley. And there's nothing there. Here's 20.
We talked about the wide receivers and the impact that they were going to have in this ball game. So far in this ball game, David Boston's only gotten 1 catch, and D. Miller's a little better with 5. What John Cooper said they're going to have to do in the second half, because what Penn State is doing is attack the middle of the football field. And Bob, you realize it's what we've been saying all day. When you have good football teams playing each other, it's not rocket science, it's more execution than anything else. Chief, Bob?
Penn State's done a nice job of taking those guys away and forcing Ohio State to go somewhere else.
There's one down the middle, and so it is intercepted by David Macklin. Nice play, David.
Yes, very nice.
Intended for David Boston. Running him back into the middle, and Macklin played it as well as you can play it.
It's a slant pattern to Boston. Jermaine throws it out in front, and Macklin has enough speed to undercut him. You don't do that very often, because if you undercut and the ball gets there, he is long gone. But Macklin makes the play that Penn State needs to get this offense jump-started.
That is Jermaine's first interception of the year. First one.
First one probably by over 100 passes.
Pretty close.
Yeah, almost.
Kevin Thompson going big. Nastasi got it. Down 1 yard line. Not a touchdown. Antoine Winfield up there with him, but Joe Nastasi went up and got it.
They've tried this one-on-one matchup quite a few times today. Winfield, Keith, is a tight man-to-man coverage guy, but doesn't have many interceptions over his career. He's one of those defensive backs that stays with you. You don't catch many balls, but he doesn't intercept many. That looks like a touchdown to me.
Sure did. Sure did. Saramelli. There's a touchdown. So Mike Saramelli takes it and muscles it into the end zone for the touchdown. And the Nittany Lions answer.
Yep. That's what happens when you have turnovers. They can turn games around.
They're going for 2, Bob.
Are they?
Mm-hmm.
All right. But an interception, 1 play later, or 2 plays later, a touchdown. David Macklin gets the pick, and they're back in the ball game.
Shafi Fields in there. Nastasi's in there. Branch is in. They'll stack them up and then shift them out. And it's a pass play, folks. Throwing, no. Intended for Nastasi, had no chance to get it. And so it's a 21-9 ball game with 9:41 to play in the 3rd quarter. This pot is still boiling.
Relax. Kick back. Rest easy. Not the first thoughts that come to mind when investing on your own. But working with our financial advisors, you'll feel differently.
Every client's ambition should be our ambition. Their dreams, our dreams.
Isn't it reassuring to know that whatever your goals in a complex world, someone will be looking out for you?
We measure success, one investor at a time.
Yeah, baby! I like it like that. I like it like that. I got soul, I got soul. Yo a ti te quiero. Baby. I like it like that. I like it like that.
If you ask us, it just tastes better.
Steve's band had its first big break last night, so they packed up the only 4-door compact pickup out there, Ford Ranger, and headed out of town.
This can't be right. Trust me, it's gonna be great.
Only to find when they hit the stage, something was a little out of place. Them.
It seems the only thing tougher than Steve's Ranger was last night's crowd.
4-door Ford Ranger. Built Ford tough.
ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Ford, maker of vehicles that have built the last. Morgan Stanley Dean Witter. We measure success one investor at a time. Burger King. If you ask us, it just tastes better. And Midas. For quality service at your neighborhood Midas today. All right, we'll kick it off. Ohio State better look out. You don't take naps against Penn State. Forney hits it. Hooked it. It wells out to about the 25, 26-yard line. And here's John Saunders.
Well, Keith, Indiana's already scored more points this year than they did all of last season, and up against Wisconsin today in the second half. This is the opening kickoff. Darren Graham, 100 yards, tying a school record, as Wisconsin right now is struggling. A flag just thrown on what looked like a touchdown play for the Badgers. We'll keep you up to date on that one. Indiana up 13-3, and Navy and West Virginia, Navy leading it by a touchdown.
Might be one of those days again, huh?
Indiana went back to grass, huh? Looked like they had grass.
From the 26-yard line now, first down for the Buckeyes. And they run it inside. Michael Wiley out to the 26. That's a 5-yard pickup. 21-9 is your score. It was 14-3 at halftime.
Offense of Ohio State. They had things going pretty much their way until that last interception. Well, I should say the first interception of Joe Germain in a long time.
He had 98 passes.
98. 78 plus the 20. But now they got to get the momentum back.
Second down and 5. Well, that's what pressure on the quarterback will do. Can't complete passes flat of your back. Scioli and Brown. Boom, boom. Ball turned into a knuckleball.
That ball was almost intercepted.
Pretty close.
Courtney Brown, 81, hits Germain, and Morrison, 31. I'm sure Joe Paterno on the sideline was living a slow death because he wanted him to intercept that one.
Bob, 3rd and 5. In the first half of this ball game, we talked about how important third down was. Ohio State had 10 third down possessions. They completed 5 of them. They averaged, I think, 9 yards each time on those third down plays, Keith.
Passes away, and they complete it again, and they get a first down out of it. And John Lumpkin finally got one thrown where he could catch it, and he's out of bounds at the 46-yard line and moved the chain. Crowd of 93,479.
This ball is covered all over by King, Anthony King, and Lumpkin is so big that King couldn't get around him. King's a small guy. He's only 5'8", and Lumpkin's 6'8". I'm sure he had his time to say, hey, I can't see around this tree. Another third down conversion.
At the 46. Germain looping it up to Miller. Too deep. Miller got tangled up a bit with King and couldn't really turn on the Jets. Sunday night live at 8:15 on ESPN Eastern Time. Sunday night football. Seattle against the Kansas City Chiefs. And then on ABC's Monday night football at 8 Eastern Time. Oh, it's a big one. Minnesota Vikings in Green Bay.
Those teams are undefeated, aren't they, Hoss?
Yes, they are.
I think they're both 4-0.
4-0. This is Wiley trying to get loose. LeVar Arrington kept him from that. Had Michael pop to the outside, he had some daylight. But a good play by Arrington.
Number 11 moves around, inside, outside. This time he comes around. Not many defensive players could make that play coming from the outside and running all the way across the formation and getting the running back from behind.
It is 3rd and 10 for the Buckeyes. They'll go to the shotgun. Steve Wisniewski is in there as a tight end. Jermaine is second. Scioli was the first man to get there, and so Penn State is doing now what they talked about doing to Jermaine. Go after him, get in his face, send 5.
Yep.
And they've had some success with it.
It's Scioli's 9th sack of his career.
Well, he's a lot happier where he is now rather than playing at tight end.
Yeah, they needed him at tight end last year, and then he said, I like it back at defensive end.
The punt now by Bartholomew. And Branch waits. Getting very quiet. Pretty good kick. 15-yard line. Branch eludes the first man. Penalty flag. He's out of bounds up at midfield, but there are 3 flags back inside the 20-yard line. Dig Honig, the referee.
It's a block in the back against Penn State.
$10 yards.
That penalty is going to wipe out a 36-yard punt return.
Half the distance.
That's a good call, Keith. No question there was a block in the back. Let's run this. Go ahead and run a little bit. We'll show you where it is. Stop it right here. Right here. Block in the back on McClellan, number 20. He pushes him from behind. The shame of it is he would have run away from him anyway. The guy wouldn't have made the play, but he went ahead and blocked him from behind.
Joe Duffy. Inside, pretty good running effort to get the ball up across the 15 by Cordell Mitchell. Cordell weighs in at about just under 200 pounds this year, so he spent some time in that weight room this summer to beef himself up some.
Penn State and Joe Paterno has always had an outstanding running back team. You know, Kajana Carter 2 or 3 years ago, Curtis Enos the last couple of years. They're developing one right now. This Eric McCoo may be the guy.
There's another good effort by Cordell Mitchell, and he's close to his first down, needs a yard or so. There's another big old horse over there named Omar Easy.
We haven't seen him yet, have we?
No, we've not seen him today.
Not today.
Probably too cold for him.
He's from Jamaica.
Oman, my fingers. I don't want to feel up my fingers. Davies leading West Virginia 24-17, hanging in there in the third quarter. Aaron Harris and Mike Caramelli now on 3rd down and a yard. So basically you have 2 big thumpers in there, and Caramelli a fullback, and he gets it, and he hammers the left side of the line, and I don't think he made it.
Maybe second effort got it.
Might have. Number 94 was the first one in there to take him on, Rodney Bailey. And then Katzenmoyer arrived, and just depends on that second effort. They got it. Move the chains.
I think the Katzenmoyer makes the first hit, but Caramelli rolls to the outside and barely picks up the first down. Watch Katzenmoyer. There's the first hit. He stops him in the hole, but he couldn't wrap him because there was too many bodies around.
On the 20, first down for Penn State. Mitchell.
The big cat in the middle of the defense is having a kind of a quiet game. First game he only had 4 tackles, then he only had 2 last 2 weeks ago. They had a bye week last week. 12 tackles against Missouri.
Second down and 9. 21-9. Ohio State leading Penn State. Just raining again. Moore coming in. They pick him up. Passes away. Lucky to get it back. Oh, my goodness. Ahmed Plummer stepped right in front of Shafi Fields and almost was going the other way. Pretty close.
Every time they throw this out pattern, look how far inside the receiver the defensive back is. He's to the inside of him. They're trying to throw an out route. They're going to go down. Watch him cut inside of him. Well, if he hadn't have slipped, Plummer, he could have picked that off for the touch.
3rd and 9. Thompson slips a little bit when he throws it. Shafi Fields is down there. The ball is intercepted by Ahmed Plummer. He got this one, but he didn't get it on his feet going the other way. Brent Johnson is the fellow who had the pressure in the quarterback's face and made him loop that thing, and Thompson also slipped just a little bit.
Yeah, we'll give Johnson some credit. Whoever's hitting him, because he underthrows this ball. Yeah, it was Johnson, number 60, underthrows it. Plummer sees it, gets back to the inside. Good interception.
The best time to give your Ford, Mercury, or Lincoln the care it deserves is now. Quality Care Fall Value Days at participating Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealers with great prices on all kinds of services. Now get brake service for $95 or less installed from people who know your vehicle best and have the right parts. Get a new Motorcraft Tested Tough battery for $59.95 or less. Going on now during Fall Value Days.
At your service, Quality Care. I hope I see you there.
Mission Control, we have a problem.
Even in today's high-tech engines, deposits can still diminish power.
Dirty fuel system affecting performance.
Enter Valvoline SynPower, a new line of high-performance additives and cleaners, like complete fuel system treatment, formulated with component-targeting synthetic molecules that lock on and eliminate those power-robbing deposits.
Fuel and air mixture, a go.
So your engine runs cleaner and performs the way it should.
We have it all.
Valvoline SynPower, rocket science for the road.
So, you going to buy this car today?
SUV today or not?
Just for you.
I'm going to talk to my boss.
No hassles, no haggling, low prices. Log on to autobuytel.com. We're changing the way America buys cars.
Need brakes? Come to Midas for a break on brakes. Now just $69.95 after rebate. You'll get our standard brake service and our guarantee. Midas is $69.95 brakes. It's worth stopping for.
Sunday, thousands believe this girl can heal. The church is baffled. We spent time with her and the hopeful. Barbara Walters, Diane Sawyer, 2020 Sunday.
The Bowl Championship Series is online with live action, interviews, game highlights, and live polls at ESPN.com and on America Online.
Kevin Thompson wiping out the mud out of his hat, and they were looking at his arm to see whether or not he might have hurt. You see him slip there just before he's buried under the pile. And Rashard Casey had been warming up in case Thompson can't come back, or they want to make a change just for the sake of tempo.
It's an awful feeling for a quarterback being on the ground, dirty and muddy.
Oh, stop it.
Come on, they need to be clean.
Supposed to be a football player for crying out loud. You can't go through the game without getting your britches dirty. Jermaine's pass is away. He's got Miller wide open. He was hit as he threw it, but he got the ball there, and Miller can't keep his feet under him, and he goes down at the 27-yard line. Otherwise, D would have scored.
Good call, partner. Both defenses are getting after the quarterbacks, and Courtney Brown saved a touchdown for Penn State. Number 86, the bottom of the screen, just going to get around Walter. Jermaine steps up nicely, feels the pocket, stepped up. Ball was just thrown, but Jermaine did a nice job. He was hit. He says, just let me get it enough air and get it out far enough, because he was wide open.
D. Miller, 6 catches for 108 yards now. Ball is at the 27-yard line, and the Buckeyes have called for a timeout. So they've got 2 left at 3:52 to go in the third quarter, leading in the ball game by a score of 21-9. This one of those defining ball games.
large. Ooh, 10 best bets. Peter Lynch?
Can I help you out?
Oh, talk about information overload.
It's too much.
But you must know all this.
You don't need all this.
It's my mission to be informed.
Fidelity can help you work out what you should know.
For your free investing guide, call 1-800-FIDELITY or visit fidelity.com.
You're going to buy something?
Just browsing.
People often ask, what's the real Bill Shatner like? I tell them, find out with Web TV. You could watch one of my many shows and be on the internet at the same time. Looking up websites about Shatner, the author, Willie the Cowboy, and yes, Bill the Rock Star. Of course, you could look up other websites and watch other shows. But why?
Web TV service, the internet, television, and more. How many detectives can catch a killer with nothing but a trench coat and a cigar?
I really shouldn't be smoking.
Only one.
You're a detective. I guess I am.
Peter Falk.
It's always a pleasure to see you. You intrigue me.
In the role he made famous.
Very disturbing, isn't it?
Sally Kellerman, Patrick McGowan, and Arnold Colombo, ABC Thursday, 9/8 Central. Remember the kid who bullied the bullies?
You shot a man for getting out of a car.
He grew up.
You're going to hit me again, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Vengeance Unlimited, ABC Thursday.
Dark, gray, dank day in Columbus, Ohio. Their home team, however, is leading 21-9 and threatening from the 27 with Joe Montgomery at tailback, and Joe's got it. Keeps on pounding away. First contact didn't take him down. He picks up 4 yards after that initial hit and moves the ball down near the 21. I like this guy. I think he's pretty good.
Well, they're going to need him, Keith. He doesn't have the flash that Michael Wiley does. He can't go the distance, but he's a tough inside runner with some power that's recovering from a serious knee injury 2 years ago.
Got it again. Down to the 2. Tyson Walter, big old tackle, got out there and helped him. And they put him on the 1-yard line. First and goal to go for the Buckeyes.
That's Lumpkin, 85, blowing out Courtney Brown. Walter, 77, with a nice block on Morrison. And Montgomery slides inside the block of Lumpkin and almost makes it to the touchdown.
He wanted to stay out there, too, because he got up pounding his chest saying, me, 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 I want one.
Yeah.
And he's still out there. Now let's see if they give it to him. Yep. And he's got it. Got away from Sean Lee. You can see how much his teammates like him. I mean, they go immediately to him. They're happy to have Joe score one. He had to be a gamer because the leg injury he recovered from was a tough one. There's an old warrior.
Well, you can hear what he's going to say right now in his post-game remarks. Too many mistakes led to touchdowns.
4 plays, 61 yards in 1 minute and 17 seconds. The kick is good. At 3:08 to play third quarter, it's now Ohio State 28 and Penn State 9.
It would have been easy to have been a football player and not a student. And conversely, it would have been much easier to have been just a student and left football for some other day and time. But it wouldn't have been as joyous, as rich, as humbling to have been one without the other. So for all of us, I say thank you from the bottom of my heart, not for a single award on a single night, but for the many memorable and molding moments that we have had the privilege to call ourselves student athletes.
Kick off by the Buckeyes. McCoo circles it at the 7. Oh, got a nice block in the middle, and then it collapsed on him up around the 24-yard line. So the Ohio State offense scores 2 touchdowns now. The defense has 1, and special teams has 1.
Well, the running game for Penn State has been by committee.
Kevin Thompson is back out there at quarterback now for the Lions. And Cordell Mitchell is the deep back. That's Nastasi. And it's a little delay to Mitchell, and by the time Cordell gets things going, Mr. Katzenmoyer and company have arrived and have messed up the parlor. Wisconsin 17-13 now over Indiana, but I thought I saw Indiana had gone out 20-17. Didn't I see that a while ago? I think so. I think Indiana's regained the lead.
What a good job Cam Cameron has done over at Indiana, huh, Keith? Yeah. And Barry Alvarez has done a great job up in Wisconsin.
Second down, 9. Outside. Ain't nothing going on outside, folks. It was Niall Diggs. And Niall got it just before Katzenmoyer arrived.
Yeah, just too much speed. If Diggs didn't get him, Katz was going to get there.
And Damon Moore was right in Kevin Thompson's face again. Damon's run about 7 miles today and wound up most of the time just a little short of dehorning Thompson. A couple of times he got him. So back goes Kevin again. Pressure coming, and the pass is away down the sidelines, and it's just too long out of bounds. Bruce Branch, who is a burner out of Richmond, Virginia, freshman, trying to track it down, but couldn't. So the Buckeye defense does its job. They pin the Lions, and Ohio State should get pretty good field position out of this.
And they're playing like a #1 ranked team should play, Keith. They're strong on offense, strong on defense, and the special teams have been outstanding.
Waiting for it is Rambo, Pat Pigeon. 5th kick of the day. Low line drive. Oh, that's bad news if he handles it. He turns back into the pursuit, and now they'll get it. Couldn't quite get off the corner over here to get started. Coming up next on ABC Sports, college football doubleheader continues. Michigan, Iowa, Colorado, Oklahoma, Clemson, North Carolina, Washington State, UCLA. Check your local listings or call your cable or satellite company for any game that you might seek on pay-per-view.
Punt returner was dancing around back there, going left and right. You can't do that. They'll give you a tutu, Hoss.
There's nothing like going north and south. On first down from the 38. Jermaine looking around all day and then runs out of time as Brad Scioli arrives one more time, and we arrive on John Saunders' front porch.
And you're welcome to be there, Keith. Thanks a lot here on this update brought to you by Burger King. Florida and Alabama. Tony Zhao to Tim Bowens. Now watch, he gets stuck and winds up fumbling the football. Dropped it from behind. Jason McCadley picks it up 2 plays later. Dustin McClintock scores. So right now, Florida's lead over Alabama is just at 3. And Indiana and Wisconsin, it's been a seesaw affair. Indiana back on top, 2017. Keith.
Boy, pretty good stuff in the wind tunnel, isn't it?
Yeah.
Second down and 13. This time he throws quickly to David Boston. He steps out of bounds despite 2 Lions clutching at him. Messrs. Jew and Morrison. Mac Morrison came all the way from Fort Orchard, Washington to play football at Penn State.
David Boston caught 14 passes in this game against Penn State last year. Hasn't caught quite that many this time. But
been a posse with him.
Yeah, he's been double covered everywhere. His dad is an NFL official, by the way. David's an academic all Big Ten player, which is nice to see.
3rd down and 4. Jermaine back throws quickly again to Boston, and it goes through his hands. Thrown hard, and the ball, remember, is wet and on a cold day. This is the first real cool day for a game of football we've had.
Yeah.
It started out, it was 51, and occasionally that little wind blows in here, and it feels like it's about 31.
Well, you're right. The players on the field, when your jerseys get wet and your pants are wet, you slide on the grass. I want to tell you, it's like freezing down there.
Bartholomew to punt now, as the Buckeye offense can't do anything with it, and Branch is waiting for it. 28-9, Ohio State leads. Got some air under this one. And it's going to roll a bit. Oh, now he picks it up. Branch. Well, he got away with it. And now you got a penalty flag. Well, let's see.
Stop is made by Kevin Hauser. Flag in the play.
So the Nittany Lions pick up a silly penalty here that costs them another 5 yards and back them up. But in the middle of a melee, you know, it's not always possible to be totally disciplined. Here's a man who's always disciplined, Lynn Swann.
Yeah, well, I may have some discipline, Keith, but I am not really dry.
You sound a little cool,
As you can see, my pants are a little wet. I'm a little wet all over. And this is that kind of miserable weather that kind of creeps into your bones. The players are out here, they're trying to stay dry, and then after a while they forget about it. Their hands, they're not soaking wet, but, you know, they just don't open up and feel comfortable. And considering all of this, I think both teams have played fairly well in this kind of weather.
I think so. And the ball off to Aaron Harris. Hawkeyes eat him up. Had no chance. Brent Johnson and Joe Brown were all over it. We played 3. It's 28-9. Buckeyes, we're back after this message and the word from our ABC station.
Professional builders, people who make a living with their tools, prefer to buy their tools at the Home Depot more than any other store in America. And whether it's the selection, the quality brands we offer, or our guaranteed commitment to the lowest prices, we think it's a pretty powerful argument for why you should shop here too. The Home Depot, where people who know their stuff buy their stuff.
My name is Dennis Porter, and I work in the Ford Dummy Lab. They build it, we crash it. We don't care about the damage, we care about the people. Our testing exceeds the government standards. Ford has more 5-star rated vehicles than any other car manufacturer. We go that extra mile to make sure that our cars are safe. I'm proud of that.
A lot of kids get into crime because they don't have a stand-up adult to set them straight. If you care, become a mentor and teach a kid right from wrong. So do some good, help a kid. Here's the number to find out how. Children first. Go on, do it.
On a hot new spin, Mike boldly goes where a few men have gone before. It's not like walking on the moon.
Mike?
Supermodel Heidi Klum sends Mike into orbit. Then, Sports Night. This show will surprise you every time.
I want badly to see you naked.
Yeah, you better want to see me naked.
Spin City and Sports Night. See you Tuesday on ABC.
Are you ready? Ready to work with people from all nations. Ready to provide a cleaner, safer environment. Ready to experience the true meaning of service. Ready to be connected to the future. Slippery Rock University. Our world is changing. Get ready.
Watch Frasier weekdays at 5:30 on TV 24.
This is ABC Sports, home of the Bowl Championship Series.
We've got a quarter to play. Now that we've extolled all the virtues of the kind of day we have in which we must play this game and live our lives, let's proceed for the next 15 minutes with Ohio State leading 28-9. Nastasi comes out as a wide man, and the Nittany Lions are in be careful country.
You got that right.
Back on the 3-yard line. Thompson's going to throw it out of the end zone, gets it off, and overthrows McCoo coming out of the backfield. McCoo's playing a goodly bit. He's 5'10", 195. He's a chunk from Red Bank, New Jersey, but the part that kind of gets your attention is a freshman.
Keith, when you're backed up, as you take a look at the numbers for Kevin Thompson, and the one interception led to a touchdown, or was a touchdown. The offense, when you're inside your own 5-yard line like this, the offense may have the ball, but the defense has the advantage because it's a wet, cold day, and this defense is aggressive.
Pass, look out, incomplete. It was a battle between Shafi Fields and Ahmed Plummer. And Katzenmoyer was all over Thompson, the quarterback. And it was a wrestling match between Plummer and Fields, and Plummer almost took the spot.
There he is right here, coming right up the middle. Katzenmoyer, he just barely gets rid of this ball, and it's almost picked off.
So again, the Buckeyes are going to get good field position out of this. Unless Pat Pigeon is forced backwards in one step and he's beyond the field of play, and it's 2. Now he gets it up. Line drive, upfield, Rambo. Oh, if he bounces outside that time, he had to pick it. But he didn't see it. But even so, the Ohio State Buckeyes are camped at the Penn State 32-yard line for a first down. Here's 20.
Well, Keith, you know, you asked Joe Paterno about linebackers. He's had a few great ones. And you asked him about Katzenmoyer, and he compared them to a couple of great ones he had at Penn State. He said, as intense as Matt Millen and as fast as Shane Collins. That's Andy Katzenmoyer, except for he has one more thing going for him. He is a load. Neither one of those guys were nearly as big as Andy Katzenmoyer at 255.
Nope. Best starting position of the ball game for Ohio State. The pass thrown to D. Miller. Great play by Arrington. Now here's a linebacker almost at the corner of the end zone defending a wideout D. Miller, and he saved a touchdown. If Joe's able to put a little air under it, Jermaine gets it just a foot higher. It's 6.
Yep. You talk about Katzenmoyer and Joe. You know, Katzenmoyer's choice came down to Ohio State or Penn State, and Joe had some nice things to say about Katzenmoyer the other day when a lot of people were getting on his case.
Michael Wiley looking to get outside and can't do it. They have almost contained Michael today. The touchdown he scored was on a pass reception.
Yeah, he's hurt him more through the air receiving the ball than he has rushing. Joe was saying some nice things about Katzenmoyer. He said, you know, everybody's giving him ecstatic about his grades and a lot of other things. He says if those courses are available to the other students at the university, they should be available to the football players as well. Don't give him a heck for taking those courses.
Jermaine's pass is incomplete. Intended for Lumpkin, and not a particularly good choice. Ball was tipped by Kielmeyer, but it could have been going the other way real quick. Richard Casey was seen a moment ago getting up on the sidelines and apparently will begin to warm up.
The thing I like about Jermaine, Keith, is that, you know, he's very calm. He has no highs and no lows. He doesn't get real excited when things go well, and real low when they don't go so well. I like what his dad said. You know, he's determined, and he doesn't have that ability to think of himself as a second-string quarterback.
Fumbled that snap from center and had to cover it, so on 4th and 10 they were going for it, and he never got away with the ball off the snap. And so they give it up to Ohio State to Penn State at the Nittany Lions 32-yard line. Time remaining, 14:24.
understand. You got a bug problem.
Daddy! I want you to meet my friends.
Dad, phone call. Who's the IRS?
Sir, is this your son?
Hey, is this your dog?
Your life is full of worries. Your car shouldn't be. Get a Chevy Lumina. It's reliable, comfortable, and it's one less thing to worry about.
Sir, is this your house?
Heck, Lumina can even save you $1,000.
Sir?
The color of determination. One of the colors between the colors created by Canon. Canon Laser Color. Its only competition is reality.
Why is America on America Online?
Email's great.
It's fast, it's responsive.
I just click and I'm there.
I can't even use a copy machine and I can do it.
I love to get instant messages.
They have parental controls, and that's a good thing.
We've spent over $1 billion to create a state-of-the-art high-speed network. And now with 56K, connections are faster than ever.
It's the internet and a whole lot more.
No complicated setup. Just a simple phone line is all you need.
I sent my grandma my school picture.
There's no better way to keep in touch.
America Online, so easy to use, no wonder it's #1.
You're born, you die. In between, you work on cars. We should all be so lucky.
I've seen every card there is. Thousands of cards. Super 8's VIP card. It says, congratulations, your reservation is guaranteed, and you get 10% off. Life's great at Super 8.
The Hughleys are fitting in nicely in the burbs.
Is Sally having a black baby or a white baby?
Yeah, honey, I'm kind of curious about that myself.
The Hughleys, ABC Tuesday.
There are all the numbers that carry real meaning. Right there. New quarterback for Penn State, Rashard Casey. Sophomore out of Hoboken, New Jersey, 6'1", 205. He's still in the seasoning process. Big arm, lets it go. And it's too big. So he comes off the bench, adrenaline pumping, and we're off the bench, headed for John's house.
Well, Keith, Wisconsin against Indiana, of course, you focus on the big guy. Ron Dane from 4 yards out pumps this one across. This has been a great game to watch, a lot of offense, but for Ron Dane, he ties Marshall Faulk quickest to 4,000 yards, 28 games. This is in Division 1A. Herschel Walker with a record of 27 games. Keith.
How about Indiana, Keith? I'm impressed with the Hoosiers playing the Badgers.
Well, yeah.
That's tough.
Casey's about to get a taste, but they miss him, and then he pulls it down and takes off, and this is what he can do. Kevin Thompson can't.
This is a kid that can run, has a strong arm, and can run. There are a lot of schools in the Midwest and the Big Ten that wanted this kid from Hoboken, New Jersey.
Including John Cooper.
Cooper wanted him. Michigan State thought they might have a chance at him. Joe Paterno at Penn State landed him. Just not quite as sharp as Kevin Thompson. You know, coming into the season, Joe said, I'm going to play them both. And he has played them both, but he's played Thompson a lot more than Richard.
He picked up the first down, and Casey turns, hands the ball off. This time it goes to McCoo. And McCoo will be stopped at about the 46-yard line, just beyond the 45. Along that defensive front, remember, for Ohio State, Bailey, Wayne, Brown, Johnson, all sophomores, and Pickett and Collins. Pickett started today. He's a true freshman. Collins is a true freshman. So there's a lot of young folks. Just outside the 45 now for second down and still about 10. Casey back. No, ball bounces. We're talking to John Cooper yesterday about how many freshmen he's playing. I mean, he just shoves him right into the middle of the war, and he said this.
We found out that if you don't play him, you ain't going to have him. I mean,
if a player's, you know, we redshirted Danny Wilkerson, we redshirted Sean Springs, we redshirted Robert Smith, and those guys stayed 3 years and, you know, left. So if he's good enough to play, if he's good enough to help us in any phase, whether it's covering a kickoff or a punt return or, you know, play on special teams or anything, we're going to play in his position.
Oh, John loves that old Tennessee saying, no, if the dog's going to bite you, he'll do it as a pup.
He may bite you in a good way or in a bad way.
Casey still got clean britches. Drop the football. But they've got it. I thought it came loose. First time he's really met the ground. Ohio State has hit the Penn State people 11 times for a loss today. That gives you some idea about the aggressiveness of that Buckeye defense. Here's Pat Pigeon in to punt again. That's 7. Rambo is waiting. Took his time. Oh, that's a good kick. Up into the raindrop. Kenyon Rambo. Dropped immediately by Ascari Adams. And he's back inside the 10-yard line at the 9. 12:30 to play.
Okay, it's my big debut. Here we go. Wise. Okay, I'm ready when you are.
Good.
Wise. Did he forget his line or what? Is this the regular one or is he the understudy? Is this? Yeah, thank you. Hey, you gotta wait for me. Let's hold it, not you. He goes, then I. Wait a second, not you. Hold it. Why? Why? I can't work in this environment. Cut. Cut.
I know a place.
This is not a country for wimps. We invented the cowboy, the jawbreaker, and the quarterback blitz.
I'll take you there.
We are rough on our cars. So get a Chevy Malibu. It'll go up to 100,000 miles before its first scheduled tune-up. Transmission fluid, 100,000 miles. Engine coolant, 5 years or 150,000 miles. We're talking tough. The car you knew America could build. The Chevy Malibu.
I'll take you there. Oh!
That looks tasty.
It's a Big King. I got this one for free.
Gonna eat them both?
Not if you let me play baseball.
Baseball? I'm a coach. What position?
Shortstop. No, second base. And I want a bat, too.
Welcome aboard, slugger.
The Flame Broiled Big King. It's like a Big Mac, but tastes better with 75% more beef. Buy one now, say it just tastes better, and get a second one free.
How'd you boys like to play ice hockey?
If you ask us, it just tastes better.
ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Genuine Chevrolet, the cars more Americans trust. Brewery Fresh Budweiser, who reminds you fresh beer tastes better. BASF, we don't make a lot of the products you buy, we make a lot of the products you buy better. And Fidelity Investments, where 12 million investors put their trust. 'Tis the Santa Maria on the Scioto River in downtown Columbus, sailed in yesterday. Furls the sails and sits comfortably and quietly. If you're ever in downtown Columbus, go by and have a look.
Sailed in yesterday? Now, lad, don't be telling these folks that.
It's quite an attraction.
Been there for a while.
Yeah, well, you and I went down there.
Yes, we did.
Fun to see it. Yeah. An old friend of mine named, to get this name now, I'm telling you, it's a true name. Ralph Emerson Waldo was involved in that. Great fellow. First down, ball at the 9-yard line for Ohio State's Joe Montgomery. And Montgomery gets nothing out of that play. There is one thing that is an absolute truth about a Penn State football team. They never quit fighting.
That's true. And, you know, the attitude is we're getting better on the field for next week's game, and I'm sure that's what Joe has told them on the sideline. And anybody that does give up will be off the field and out of the game next week.
That's right. And maybe packing a bag. Second down and 10, staying with the ground game. It's Michael Wiley, and Wiley will find his way out to about the 13 as we wander along the clock at 11:45 to play, and a 28-9 lead for Ohio State, the top-ranked team in the country. They've been up there all season. And the coordinating producer of ABC's College Football, Tony Tortorisi. Today's game was produced by Mr. Jay Rothman, I'll have you know. Directed by Chip Dean, our technical director, Jeff Suarez, associate producer, Margaret Schaefer, associate director, Derek Mobley, assistant producer, Chapman Downs and Traven Martin. Our production manager, Amy Hussey. Jamar Martin is in the ball game. That big freshman fullback, and he's got the ball. And he's out to the 30, and it's a first down as LeVar Arrington brings him down. Jamar Martin is 6'1", 235, a freshman from Kenton. Oh, you'll hear about him as the days go by. Our Tech Ops manager today, Jay Gleason, statistician, is Mr. Marcamento from Omaha, and our spotter, Mr. Kelly Hayes, who comes down from the mountain twice a week. Said the Rockies had a sprinkling of fresh snow as he left yesterday. This ball is handed to Michael Wiley. Wiley is in there for 5 up to the 35.
John Cooper's done a nice job since he's been. This is his 11th year. And look at this, winningest coaches, 10-year minimum in the Big Ten. Schembechler is at the top. And John Cooper comes in at the right there at the there's 3 Michigan coaches and 2 Ohio State coaches. How about Woody Hayes? You did a lot of his games, partner. Any memories of Woody Hayes down through the years?
Some good, some bad.
Well, we know some of the bad. I mean, the one everybody remembers. But tell us some about the good.
Well, I was entertained somewhat as Wiley goes over the left side, and you know, Ann Hayes. They sold that one-room log cabin where Woody used to go and hide and read his books and what have you, and rest, his sanctuary. And it went for a lot less than some people thought, but it was purchased at auction yesterday, and it goes into part of Ann Hayes' scholarship fund here.
Yeah. I think it went for what, $70,000?
$70,000.
Something like that.
If I don't give Craig Rothbard a pop here, his mother will write me a letter. He's from Tallahassee. Our computer stats. Hello, this is Michael Wiley, and Michael almost ran out of the grasp of Ascari Adams there as he moves it up and picks up another first down. So you can move along with the change, and at the conclusion of today's game, we'll pick the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the game from each team. Chevrolet making a contribution to each school's general scholarship fund. But I think one of the things, the measurement of a coach, a general, a sergeant, people who lead men, after they're gone, you never hear anybody say anything bad about them, especially the people who followed them, the people who played for them. That, to me, is the greatest testimony you can have for a coach. I don't know that I've ever heard anybody, not Woody Hayes, who ever worked as a player under him.
And you were saying that he was a big historian also, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah, he certainly was.
Read about the battles of the generals.
You had no chance of winning an argument. If you got him back in the corner, he'd whoop out his Churchill quotes, and you were done. It's over. Forget it.
John Cooper's averaged about 8 victories a year since he's been here, and that's about what Woody averaged when over his 28 years as head coach.
Second down and 8 from the 44. This is Wiley. Look out. Oh, he got a little tangled up with D. Miller over there, and the pursuit finally got him, but he was very close to scoring right there. But you know, the guy walking the far sidelines where the fellas wearing the white suits and the black shoes, he's right there with Bo and Woody and Fritz and all of the others, Bud and Bear.
Yep.
And I've often said that Mama wanted a doctor, Papa wanted a lawyer, and all they got was a legend.
Papa and Mama Paterno you're talking about.
Yes. First down for the Buckeyes at the 45, just inside the 45-yard line. Here's Wiley again. And he'll get it down inside the 40 to the 39.
The amazing thing to me about Joe Paterno, Keith, is he's been at Penn State for 49 years. He was there 16 years as an assistant and then 33 years as a head coach. And in all of those years, his teams have never been under an NCAA investigation or violations or anything of that sort.
When Rip Engel hired Joe to come down as a young assistant, he didn't even have a driver's license. We didn't know what was west of the Hudson. Ball comes spurting out. They're going to call him down at about the line of scrimmage. So he made some of his early recruiting trips by bus and his thumb.
71 years old. The winningest active coach. 301 wins, and he still runs on the field. He loves what he's doing.
I'm going to give him a hat for Christmas.
He should be wearing a hat. Sue, we'll give him a hat next time.
Yeah, Sue makes him roll up his britches, but get dirty. I know it's just tremendous people. They're great people. Life, they've got a great perspective on it.
They do. You're exactly right.
Jermaine's pass he's hit just as it is thrown, and Joe took a lick that time. He's getting up very tenderly. Mac Morrison came blowing in there and nailed it. And Jermaine is very tender, and they're going to have to take him out of there. It is 4th down, so I don't know. Joe may be through for the day.
Yeah,
we'll see about that.
He gets under his right arm and he hits his ribs. I'm sure he's wearing one of those vests that protects your ribs. Maybe he just got the wind knocked out of him.
Well, they lead 28-9.
I don't know why he's in there throwing passes now anyway.
Brent Bartholomew is in to punt. I think they could very well let us have a look at Garcia, the backup at quarterback, Mark Garcia. And we may see him. That's fair catch called at the 9-yard line by Bruce Branch. So 6:35 to play in the ball game. And Joe walking around on the sideline.
Sleek, sophisticated, stylish, and yet with an exhilarating V6. Chevy Monte Carlo lets you express that hidden part of your personality, just dying to get out.
Mr. Freeman.
How are you?
Tommy.
Monte Carlo. The side you show the world is up to you.
At BASF, we don't make the sunscreen, we make it stronger. We don't make the tennis shoes, we make them grip better. We don't make the jacket, we make it brighter. We don't make the carpet, we make it tougher. At BASF, we don't make a lot of the products you buy, we make a lot of the products you buy better. BASF.
Afraid your next get-together will be a flop? Order Chili's Party Platters. Act now. Call a Chili's representative, and your guests will flip over party-sized servings of buffalo wings, fajitas, baby back ribs, and more. End pre-party stress now. Order Chili's Party Platters new from Chili's.
Hi.
Tired of financial companies that make you feel small and unimportant?
No, I'm sorry, I can't help you.
Then sit down with a MetLife financial professional to discuss your financial future. Get Met. It pays.
Next Saturday, 7th-ranked Penn State takes on Minnesota. Georgia Tech battles NC State, plus other regional action.
Joe Jermaine there's got a jacket on now. He's talking to Mark Garcia. We're anticipating that Garcia may be in the ballgame next, though he's not warming up. You'd think he was going to come, but that's 3 or 4 downs from now. We'll see what the Nittany Lions do. Rashard Casey is on at quarterback in relief of Kevin Thompson now. And the Lions have the ball first down at their own 9-yard line. They hand that ball inside, and there's some room for Eric McCoo. And he's up across the 17.
Well, the defense set the tone for this one. They had a lot of tackles for loss. They recovered a fumble in the end zone for a touchdown. They blocked a punt for a touchdown in 28 of 49 plays. Didn't get back to the line of scrimmage, or if that. Barely got back.
But this kind of thing, though, tell a football team where it's, it's got all the tools. They can do it in a lot of different ways, and we seem to broaden their foundation. Here's John.
Keith, Florida and Alabama, actually a close game, some surprise. 2nd and goal. Doug Johnson is stripped by Alabama. The fumble is recovered by Wesley Welsh. That's their 11th fumble of the season for Florida. They had 8 all of last year, and right now clinging to a 16-10 lead. Florida State also in a battle at College Park, Maryland. 18-10 after a safety they just got. Keith.
Well, I would say, Steve, will be a lot of fun at supper if Alabama sneaks up on them after that many fumbles and mistakes.
You know, when quarterbacks get outside the pocket and run around like that, they need to hold on to the football.
3rd down and 2, and the field is littered with laundry. Well, let's see about the penalty call here. I think a false start.
False start on the offense. 5 yards. Still 3rd down.
It's a time of tedium in the ball game, just inside 6 minutes.
It's a good time for Freddie Puggich, the defensive coordinator. He's happy with the way things have gone. Penn State has only converted 2 of 12 3rd down conversions. We got some good athletes on this Ohio State defense, and Freddie knows it, and he turns them loose.
From the 12, Rashard Casey fakes it, gets him Rudzinski in the air, gets, that ball's out of bounds. And had all the room, but when he threw the ball to Branch, it was out of bounds. Mark Garcia will be the quarterback for Ohio State. He's cranking up. Eighth punt of the day for Pat Pigeon. He's going to have to go soak his foot. Gets it out of there. Low line drive. Rambo needs a little help. Got one. Needs another one. There it is. Oh. The middle of a thunderstorm. Down he goes. Tomorrow live at 4 Eastern on ABC Sports, Championship Auto Racing, the Texaco Grand Prix of Houston. The inaugural race on a street course. Kart season winding down. Points leader Alex Zanardi is running off to Europe to drive in Formula One next year. Last time a driver won back-to-back was 86 and 87. A fellow named Bobby Rahal. The last time I heard was living hard by Deerfield and Dublin, not far from here. Mark Garcia. He is a senior from Modesto, California. Blitz coming. They go after him. And the ball comes out.
Arrington took it away.
And Arrington has the ball. Oh, that's a fierce greeting for Garcia. Arrington came boring in, and suddenly he had his hands on it and took it away from him.
Here's Arrington right here. He's going to inch up, and he's going to time his blitz just when the ball is snapped. And he was trying to give the ball off, and he gave it to Arrington, or Arrington took it away.
I've never seen
right there
like that. You know, Garcia turned around to hand it to his running back, and instead Arrington had it.
This kid is one heck of a player. Like I mentioned earlier, intercepted a pass against Pittsburgh 2 weeks ago and returned it for a touchdown. Had 3 sacks in that ball game. We had another one here today, and a turnover right there.
Nittany Lions take possession at the 48-yard line. And Rashard Casey, trying to throw the ball to Concho Brown, is busted pretty good and had no idea what he was doing with it, just unloading it. Because Cortland Bullard was bringing an axe handle.
Ohio State the rest of the year, Keith, they don't seem to have too tough a schedule. None of these teams are ranked at the moment. Michigan, I think, might be ranked in the top 25, but that's always been their tough game, their bugaboo. They have Michigan at home last game of the season.
Casey, who's yet to complete a pass, finally does to McCoo out of the backfield. Antoine Winfield nails him down at the 45-yard line.
You know,
it'll be 3rd down and 7 now with about 5 minutes to
this
go.
Bowl Championship Series rankings are due out at the end of this month.
End of October?
Yeah. That'll be interesting to see how they rank them. They're taking into consideration the strength of schedule and a lot of other things.
Casey slips a little bit, but gets his pass away, and it is incomplete. Ahmad Plummer defending on Sam Crenshaw, who's a 200-pounder out of Youngstown, Ohio. Found his way down to Happy Valley.
Just mano-a-mano, speed against speed. Ball is underthrown and thrown to the outside.
4th and 7, and the Nittany Lions will go for it at this point, trailing 28-9 at 4:43 to play. Thrown outside to Corey Jones, and Jones had no chance. And Plummer, they're keeping him busy right now.
These defensive backs are just too quick and such good tacklers. Those things just don't work out there.
Here's Swanee.
Well, Keith, this is about as close as I'll ever come to dotting the I at Ohio State. But the man who's been dotting the I for him all afternoon is Dean Miller. He has been phenomenal. And the reason why he's been great today is because he runs the most precise route of all the wide receivers. And in weather like today, when the quarterback is having a hard time throwing, the defense is playing tough, you want to know that the guy you're going to is going to break at the right moment and be at the proper depth. And that's been Dean Miller all day long. So, on the sideline, we thank you from the band. Keith?
Can you get a sound out of that thing?
I don't think I can. I couldn't blow this tube if my life depended on it.
Give it a try. I want to see if you get anything out of that Susan.
Can I try? All right, here's the try.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, yeah, he's got a sound out. Look at that.
All right.
I think that's somebody behind you. I don't think he did that. Can you bend over and dot the I? I want to see you bend over. He'd never get up. Somebody have to come help him. There's D. Miller, the man he was talking about, who's had a big day.
Good play. He's caught passes now in 19 straight games.
Now, Mark Garcia will try to get things organized. They're at 1st and 15 after the 5-yard penalty. And he'll pitch it back. And here comes Jonathan Wells. And he isn't going very far that way. He's knocked out of bounds by James Boyd, a sophomore from Chesapeake, Virginia.
How about the NC State Wolfpack the other night whooping up, huh?
Startling.
Michael Caine doing a nice job down there.
Huge wins for them this year, huh?
Beat Florida State and Syracuse, who had been playing. Syracuse had a couple of big wins, one over Michigan.
Garcia pitches back again, and same fella carrying the ball, Jonathan Wells. He's out of River Ridge, Louisiana, where Chris Howard came from to go to Michigan. Coming up next on ABC Sports, our college football doubleheader continues. Michigan, Iowa, Colorado, Oklahoma, Clemson, North Carolina, Washington State, UCLA. So check your local listings for the game in your area. Check your cable or satellite company for pay-per-view games available. And if they don't have what you want, tell them about it.
Call them up, huh?
Just give it to them.
One of the talk about surprises of the season, and one of the disappointing starts is the University of Michigan, losing to Notre Dame and to Syracuse.
Garcia rolls it out. Brendan Short's after him, and Mr. Short has him. Thank you very much. And down he goes. Oh, that brings up
Team on the field for
Ohio State.
Your old buddy Frank Broyle's got to be happy there at Arkansas with the start of their,
you put your thumb on those guys early.
A lot of guys coming back and a new coach. Beat Alabama. They beat Alabama
roundly.
Yeah.
What, 42-7 or something? Alabama's giving Florida all they want today. Oh, maybe the Hogs are getting ready to bite somebody.
Well, they beat Alabama, a running team. Today they've got Kentucky, a passing team. See how they do against the pass.
Kick is out. Low. A little bit of room here for the return. He slips a bit. It's Brandt. And Brandt gets up to about the 25-yard line. So the Buckeyes in control of things from 2:45 to play.
Hi, I'm expecting a fax.
Room 212 wants the ammunition to deal with her toughest clients.
Nothing. Hi, Davies 212. I called earlier.
Right, fax. It hasn't come yet.
I need it for a meeting.
Excuse me, Miss Davies? Just came in.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone.
Business services by Marriott. When you're comfortable, you can do anything.
I know a place.
This is not a country for wimps. We invented the cowboy, the jawbreaker, and the quarterback blitz.
I'll take you there.
We are rough on our cars. So get a Chevy Malibu. It'll go up to 100,000 miles before its first scheduled tune-up. Transmission fluid, 100,000 miles. Engine coolant, 5 years or 150,000 miles. We're talking tough. The car you knew America could build. The Chevy Malibu.
I'll take you there. Oh.
That is a piece of crystal. It is a piece of crystal that one could clutch dearly to his bosom, because that's the national championship trophy. And it'll be decided and given to the winning team of the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl in Tempe on January the 4th.
Yes. Where will you be?
I'll be there, I hope.
Yes, sir.
This is Omar Easy. Omar Easy, the Jamaican young man born and raised in Jamaica and grew up in his last 3 or 4 years in Everett, Massachusetts. There it was where he learned to play football. And there were a lot of people who, like Joe Paterno and his staff, saw the enormous potential for this fellow. Now, he's 6'1", 243 pounds, and he is an athlete. And as soon as he nails down some of the particulars about this game that they're trying to teach him,
This American game.
Look out.
Yeah, a lot of schools were after him, too. So Joe didn't have the corner on him. It wasn't a secret. I mean, everybody was after him.
If time permits, we invite you to stay tuned for the Thrifty Car Rental post-game report featuring scores and highlights from across the country. And remember, there's another game to come. Let me tell you, too, as we prepare to go away for the day, College Football Today, produced by Charles Copeland. College Football Today, directed by Kelvin Haywood. Technical director, Gary Boyarski. And the remote coordinator, old friend, Vince Goddard. Third down and 4. Rashard Casey puts it up. And it is over the head of Corey Jones, who had no idea where the ball was because he didn't have time to look back. Well, it has been a long day for Joe and the boys, but they'll make their way on down the schedule.
Well, this is some good experience, though, for Rashard Casey to get in there and get his feet wet a little bit, so to speak. Watch the tape, learn from your mistakes, and move on.
It's another impressive outing for this Ohio State football team, though.
Yes, it is. And after dropping some points in the polls when they were idle last week to Nebraska, I think this is a very impressive showing.
Coop said he could understand why they... Ooh, this is a good kick. He could understand why they could lose a couple of points. And penalty flags are down now as Rambo returns it, because Nebraska just whaled a pretty good football team in Washington.
Oh, boy, did they ever.
That Newcomb makes them a tough football team.
And this is an impressive win here for Ohio State.
You know how I got this thing figured out. I figured the Buckeyes run the table. Wisconsin runs the table. Rose Bowl and the national championship game out in Tempe could have both have undefeated teams.
Yeah, Hoss, there's a lot of water under the bridge before that.
Yeah, baby. I like it like that. I like it like that. I got soul. I got soul. I like it like that. Yo a ti te quiero. I like it like that. Baby. I like it like that. I like it like that. I like it like that. I like it like that.
If you ask us, it just tastes better.
Rather go to a real race? During the Napa 500 Great Start Sweepstakes, you could win one of 8 trips to Daytona Speed Weekend, or the grand prize, a trip to Daytona, $10,000 cash, and be the honorary starter of the Napa Auto Parts 300. So come into any Napa Auto Parts store for details. Napa Power Battery, $32.99 after rebate.
You might find them in a small-town schoolhouse or in a modern classroom in a great city. You cannot distinguish them by gender or by race or by age. Yet they are all bound together by one remarkable talent. They breathe life into learning. State Farm is proud to support America's most innovative teachers through our Good Neighbor Award. Thanks to these teachers, students are seeing learning in a whole new light.
The final moments of the ball game between the Buckeyes and the Nittany Lions. Derek Combs is the deep back now. Fresh legs with a clean shirt in the backfield for Ohio State. He's got the ball. Now he can go to the laundry.
One of the key plays in the game, the first offensive touchdown. Michael Wiley out of the backfield. Kind of broke loose, and this is Tim Salem, the quarterback coach, up in the press box, was so excited that he actually punched the glass in front of him and broke the glass.
The coach's booth.
The coach's booth, yeah. That was a shattering experience, I would say.
Lucky he didn't cut himself.
Exactly.
What about the folks underneath it? Somebody said there were Penn State writers. I didn't see any. Paramedics didn't make the trip, so I guess everybody's all right. Derek Combs carrying again. The Chevrolet players of the game as the clock winds down. The most valuable players for Penn State. LeVar Arrington, 12 tackles, a sack, 2 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery. For Ohio State, D. Miller, 6 catches, 108 yards. A Chevrolet donation made to each school's general scholarship fund for these people. A Chevrolet tradition for more than a quarter of a century. And so it's final. Number 1, Ohio State 28, Penn State 9. We hope you enjoyed it. Now here's a dry John Saunders.
All right, Keith, we are indeed dry. Although it's a little cold up here in New York. Todd, we talked about before the game a chance for Ohio State to be impressive the way Nebraska was last week. Were you impressed?
Yeah, I was impressed. I'll tell you what, I think this team was very strong. All 3 phases of the game, very good for Ohio State today. The weather maybe slowed the offense down a little bit, but great Ohio State defense. Penn State's offense never really threatened this Ohio State team. Very impressive, deserving of a number 1 team.
All right, number 1 remains unbeaten. A reminder, coming up next, the second half of our doubleheader. Just in a few minutes away. Some of you will stay in the Big Ten country. Michigan against Iowa, Sam Sword and Jared DeVries. DeVries, the 97 Defensive Lineman of the Year. Washington State against UCLA in the Pac-10. There's Neon Taylor and Cade McNown. McNown is 7th in the nation in total offense. Some of you will be in the ACC. A couple of struggling teams, Clemson and Carolina. Antoine Edwards and Dre Bly. Edwards, 386 all-purpose yards and 13 returns. And Colorado and Oklahoma, there's the coaches, Rick Neuheisel and John Blake. Neuheisel, 20-1 record against unranked teams. More importantly, his team right now is 4-0. When we come back, we will have the Thrifty Car Rental post-game report as we continue with college football here on ABC.
You're watching ABC.
Mrs. Leary, hello. Got your call about a home equity loan. I'm here for your bills. Hey, boys, how you doing? I want the car payments, the medical bills, and I want those high-interest credit cards.
Terry Bradshaw.
Four-time Super Bowl winner.
You're throwing good money away, and you've got equity here.
Call the Associates toll-free at 1-888-A-LOAN-FOR-YOU and apply right over the phone.
We have a very simple procedure.
Just get them the money, Frank. See ya! We make loans that make life better.
Super 6 is now worth $25 million. See it live on TV 24.
The Thrifty Car Rental Postgame Report. Great cars in over 70 countries around the world. Best of all, it's Thrifty. From our New York studios, John Saunders and Todd Blackledge.
Ohio State remains unbeaten. The second half of your doubleheader coming up in just a few moments' time. Right now, let's check the scores. Florida, they looked impressive against Kentucky coming off the loss to Tennessee, but today against Alabama, Todd, they are struggling.
Well, they are. Alabama playing much better defense in this ballgame. Travis McGriff, wide receiver, having a big game for Florida. 9 catches, 213 yards, and 1 touchdown. Florida threatening again right now.
Yeah, threatening, but they just fumbled the football trying to go in. Third turnover in the red zone in this game. Look at this one as well. Florida State over Maryland. Florida State, Wenke has looked much better since that 6th interception game.
Yeah, he's shown a lot of maturity, has really come back and played well. They have not turned the ball over since that ball game. Chris Wenke leading that team right now on the road.
Florida State up by 11, as we mentioned. Wisconsin, it's a final over Indiana. Ron Dane gets to 4,000 yards, tying Marshall Faulk for the quickest to get there. Took 28 games.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ron Dane playing a little bit on a gimpy ankle, but still gave a good effort, 130 yards. A very game effort by Indiana at home. Antoine Randall, their quarterback, very exciting guy to watch, almost pulled the upset.
Herschel Walker was the quickest to 4,000. Took him 27 games. Back with more in a moment.
It's Thrifty Car Rental's 40th birthday, so let's get the show on the road. Call 1-800-4CARS. There's something special going on at Thrifty Car Rental and Blockbuster Video. You rent a car from Thrifty, you get a free movie rental from Blockbuster Video. Just ask. When you rent a car at Thrifty, you'll drive home with a free movie rental from Blockbuster Video. Get the show on the road with Thrifty Car Rental and Blockbuster Video. Call 1-800-4CARS.
More of the Thrifty Car Rental post-game report. John Saunders and Todd Blackledge will get you out to your 3:30 game in just a moment. Second half of the doubleheader for most of you. San Jose State against Virginia. Virginia, it's their homecoming for San Jose State. There'll be 3 times in a row that'll happen.
Yeah, they'll play homecomings the next 3 weeks, but Virginia, it's a little slow getting started. Then they finish up 411 yards rushing. Big win for Virginia, 45-14 right now.
Thomas Jones, 2 touchdown runs in that game. West Virginia against Navy. Navy led throughout this one, then got blown away late.
Well, a little too much firepower in the end for West Virginia. Mark Bolger, the quarterback, a big game, 354 yards, but a good effort by Navy at home.
All right, we, of course, will see you at halftime with all the day's scores and highlights and updates. Enjoy the game, and we'll see you then.
Can you guess who's taking drugs at Drew's work? And when things couldn't get any worse.
Kenny, I need you to personally collect urine from all the employees.
Then on Wednesday's newest hit comedy, The Secret Lives of Men, one of the guys is having a problem. In the bedroom. I think you know what I mean. Drew and Secret Lives, ABC Wednesday, starting at 9/8 Central.
It's time once again to name our Toyota Star Athlete of the Week. And this week we travel to Mill Creek, the home of the McDowell Trojans. And that's where wide receiver and defensive back John Fowler put on a show in the first 2 weeks of the season. In Friday night's game against Youngstown Ursuline, he had more than 125 yards in receptions, including a 55-yard touchdown bomb. Unfortunately, the Trojans were unable to upend this Ohio power, but they did prove that this year the Trojans are for real, and one major reason is the play of John Fowler.
There's a lot of quality built into every Toyota Camry. Quality that starts right here with parts made for Toyota in Pennsylvania and sent to Georgetown, Kentucky, where they're used to build Toyota Camrys, Avalons, and now Sienna vans. Other parts go to California, where Toyota Corollas and Tacoma trucks are built. Fact is, most of the Toyotas sold here are made in the USA. With quality that starts in Pennsylvania.
I never thought when my son moved away that I wouldn't see him for 3 years. It's just a tractor for my grandson. But this trip I wasn't going to miss.
He's sleeping.
My son had built his own life.
He got a John Deere.
Of course. But he still appreciates where he came from.
The new LT-133 from John Deere. The only lawn tractor with the past as bright as its future.
Improvement weeknights at 7 on TV 24.
This is ABC Sports, home of the Bowl Championship Series and the National Championship.